need that sports encyclopedia. Where you at, Steve Kim? Got Trent in the cut.
What are you?
He's the best.
Yeah.
He's a master motivator.
I'm a master motivator. I ain't no regular ass motivator. I'm a fucking master.
Coaches tried to make practice so hard that the game was less intrusive. Like they coached you that way. Like people think, well, they were just yelling. No, they were trying to put you under stress and put you in under duress so that when you got in the game, you could mentally handle adversity.
If you go through JUCO and you make it out of JUCO, you can make it anywhere.
I respect the hell out of you to see that you're doing what you're doing and still doing what you're doing for real, the way you do it, man. From day one, you had the same enthusiasm. You keep the same enthusiasm, and it's fucking contagious.
In my opinion, I think Shedeur Sanders is the best deep ball in college football. I don't think
Can you just say something nice about Shedeur Sanders?
I love talking ball. It's nice to connect with guys that are like-minded and just are real and genuine.
And I proudly stand up next to you all. God bless America.
You said belt to ass, T-Red. You got the belt around you. Coach JB Show.
What up? We are in the building. It is Free Game Friday, so guess what? Strap up. Let's go. It is time to roll. Put on your hard hats and your work boots because this game right here, this Free Game Friday, is going to be locked and loaded. Former NFL 10-year veteran Stanford Routt joins us along with Cleveland Browns radio host, 92.3 The Fan, Jonathan Peterlin will join us to talk all things draft, Cleveland Browns, and all the hoopla and hype around that organization. We'll get that firsthand. Plus, Big Smitty will join us. We'll get this party started before your weekend starts. Come pop in on the realest show on Planet ERF. We're on X and YouTube right now. TikTok has me banned, of course, probably for about 5 to 6 days. So that happens every week. Shout out to Ed McCaffrey and the McCaffreys. We got their protein bites, so go check them out. Got them in the building. McCaffrey protein bites. I tried each one last night after Smitty tried his. Smitty gave a horrible review. I'll give a better one later on during the show. So is what it is. Let's dive into it, man. We got a lot to discuss here today. Jalen Brunson's on the thumbnail, and I love Jalen Brunson. I actually shot him a text last night. Great dude, actually, man. Dude responds all the time. He was supposed to come on here last year. I was supposed to go on his show. Didn't get it done. We'll get it done hopefully soon. But he's a cold-blooded assassin. Kobe-esque. But is he the best Knick already? No. He's not. Is he on pace to be the greatest Knick ever? No, he's not. Stop it, ESPN. Stop it, people. I love Jalen. I will get him on the show soon. I texted him last night, like I said. I love his game, his demeanor, his entire mindset, how humble he is on the podium. You saw how he was just sitting there, like acting as if he's been there before. But first, let's see him lead his team to the finals and win one before we ever put him in the likes of people like Walt Frazier and Patrick Ewing and Bernard King and Willis Reed and Carmelo Anthony and Earl the Pearl Monroe and Dave DeBuscher. The list goes on. Quit anointing these cats so quickly, man. You're only setting them up for failure. He was just a Dallas Maverick. Relax. Jesus, man. The Kings, my Kings, the Los Angeles Kings, lose 6-4. Lose the series 4-2. Very entertaining series. Very entertaining game last night. They were up 2-0 in this series, scoring at will last night. They started off and score on the face off. 1-0. Then Edmonton turns around. It was fucking 2-2 in the first 5 minutes. It was 3-2 in the first 6 minutes. And I'm like, holy shit, what a shootout it's going to be. Kings just couldn't stop anyone on the Edmonton Oilers, man. And the Edmonton Oilers continue to be the team that LA just can't get by. Unfortunate for the Kings. They had a good year and choke it off in the first round. The Clippers hold off the Nuggets, and we'll get a big Game 7 to show us they can win an actual game that matters. They got a guy on their team, actually, who's playing right now who can and has done it and has won big games, made big shots in Kawhi Leonard. They got a guy in Ty Lue who's won the big one. But besides that, can the others show up? And will James Harden finally get it done? Last 2 games, he's averaged only 13 points. He looks like the James Harden of playoff old, regular season assassin, and then he gets to the playoffs, and he's an absolute nobody. That's why James Harden will never go down as a great of all time. He's a great in-season scorer, but you can't be that guy and then score 13 points in 2 games. Like, it just doesn't make sense. But what do I know? Let's dive into it, man. Our main man, Far East Sider, 317. LeBron hairline having, Lamar Jackson loving, AR5 defending, and Caitlin Clark jocking. Fox Sports' very own Big Smitty joins the show.
Here we go. I couldn't hear it. Here we go. It's Free Game Friday.
These ones are bomb. The cookie dough ones?
Fudge brownie though, my favorite right here.
Nah, the chocolate chip cookie dough, homie.
I know, but the fudge brownie though, like they go crazy. Like, they both good though. They both good.
AE said he's garbage.
All the girls love these, man. All of them.
Nah,
good,
girls
man.
don't like them. All the girls I talked to last night said they hate them.
Well, you talked to one girl. You have one girlfriend.
I talked to a few girls.
You have one girlfriend who. Yes, you do.
I thought birthday cake, homie.
Well, shout out to Ed McCaffrey.
Yeah.
Who this is the McCaffrey brand. Shout out to his sons, Luke and Christian, who hooked us up with some protein bites. Make sure y'all go to McCaffrey to the website and get your protein bites today. And that's what we gonna do, Jason.
Women like protein the other way. They like the vitamin D.
Well, the more they said, what I heard is the more us men eat these, the better tasting it is for the lady. So
that's not true. That's actually worse tasting.
Well, test it out and find out, homie. But at the end of the day, we're gonna get into all that.
Eat the pineapple, homie.
Free Game Friday. We got Young Bailey in the background on the ones and twos. I got my crazy ass co-host, but it wouldn't be us without people like Jazzy Jazz, Sober Part, Gabrielle Stevens, Chris DeBono, JP, what's going on? Gary S, Cole Vaden, Boston Richie, OG Vincent, and Jordan Scott. This is my favorite show of the week because it's the last show of the week. We talk a little bit more loose, a little more free. You know what I'm saying? Greg Turd Holler. Like, what's wrong with this dude? Perry Mac, I'm saying eat the protein for 2 weeks and then go get some head.
Keeps it real, homie. I keep it real.
Josh Serum, my dog. I don't even know Josh, but he good energy.
How do you know?
I can read it.
It's Free Game Friday, man. There's a lot going on. Your boy Stanford Routt joins us.
Yes, the homie.
Former player, current coach, former player.
Valpo. That's my hood.
Valpo, man. He's gonna pop in, and then Jonathan Peterlin, man. Jay Peterlin, who's
And it was 92.3 out there in Cleveland.
Yeah, the fan. He hosts the fan. Yeah. He knows all things Cleveland Browns. He's an insider. Obviously, covers them. He'll be able to give us some insight on everything that's going on. So let's get it cracking, man. It's Free Game Friday, Smitty. Listen, man. Last night, Jalen Brunson just showed he's another cold assassin. Crossed up a really good defender. I thought he had the lane. I think that the defender thought he had the lane, and he kind of falls off, and he pops up and hits the three. Read the defense, popped up, hit a three, just a cold-blooded three.
It was nasty.
Jalen Brunson over the past few years has been one of the best clutch performers in the NBA, no question about it, and he's hit more game winners than anybody. It's crazy. I didn't even know he was like that. As far as stat goes, I know he's.
I think his fourth quarter average or something like. I think he scores like the most points in the fourth quarter out of anybody, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, dropped the 40 piece, and man, the thumbnail is he the best Knick ever? No, stop.
I ain't gonna lie to y'all, because this is the realest show on planet Earth. This was a thumbnail to draw y'all in today. This Free Game Friday. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. We was bullshit on this one. Respectful, all respect. Yeah, all right. It's the real show, Planet Earth, bro. Like, if we're gonna be real, we're gonna be real. Good, bad, happy, sad. This was the draw y'all motherfuckers in, and it worked. So thank you. We're glad you're here. Now the show begins. Now we get serious. We love Jalen Brunson. We love him. He's a dog. Came from the mud. Nobody really thought he was gonna be this good. Dallas definitely didn't. Gave him away for what? For what they gave him away for, JB? What's it called?
Chico stick and string cheese.
Chico stick and string cheese, cheese strings, whatever. And look at him now, balling.
The bottom line is he was just a maverick.
But he's not the best Knick ever. He got to go get a ring before we even get to that conversation.
Yeah, and I don't think he will be. I love him. I love his game. I love that he's humble. I love that he's like got that dog in him. I love all that shit. But there's too many guys, man. Too many guys. And I actually used to watch the Knicks a lot, man. And there's too many guys that are legendary guys. Obviously, Walt Frazier, Patrick Ewing are the tops to me with Bernard King. And then you got Willis Reed and guys that I didn't get to watch. Then Earl the Pro Monroe and Dave DeBuscher. I know Carmelo was there for a while and did some things, but
you either get a ring or you spend like majority of your career there and you just ball like the whole time. You know what I'm saying? It's hard to be somewhere else. Even with Carmelo, because Carmelo, I look at Carmelo like as like a different nugget.
Yeah,
first, like just me, because that's just what I like. Most of remember him as. Although he had a good run with the Knicks, I remember the Knicks were like bad. He gets there, makes them a playoff team, makes them like actually competitive. But
I don't know if I put him above Larry Johnson or Charles Oakley.
I was gonna say that, like not because he's not better than them,
right?
Because like we're talking about Knicks,
Allen Houston. Like
it's the same argument with like LeBron. And I guess LeBron has been with the Lakers for like 7-8 years now, but still, when I think about LeBron, I don't think like Lakers. I think Cleveland. Even Miami, and it sounds so contradictory because he only spent 4 seasons with Miami, but he had so much success there. You know what I'm saying? Compared to here, so it's like. When you say the greatest Knick, the greatest Laker, the greatest whatever, it's not just solely on who was the best player. It's like, what did you do in totality underneath that jersey? I can make a really good argument, and y'all might call me crazy, but I might say Derek Fisher's a better Laker than LeBron because I just think about the big shots he made, and you got
LeBron had really done shit.
You feel what I'm saying?
You take away the bubble, homie, and which has an asterisk to it, according to a lot of people. I'm not one of those guys, but. Like, what has LeBron really done in LA? I mean, he's 2-12 in his last 3 series, Smitty.
I saw that.
I'm just telling you, like, the fact of the matter. But the Knicks have so many Mason and Charles Smith. I used to watch. I love those teams with those guys. Starks. Like, there's some guys that have unbelievable moments too in the New York Knicks uniform. Jalen has some moments, like last night was a moment, but it wasn't like a moment to go down in the history books. Not yet. Yeah,
if they win a ring this year, this moment will become bigger. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like, oh, damn, like if he didn't do that, they go to game 7 potentially, and then they lose. You know what I'm saying? Like,
fuck, I forgot about Steph Marbury and Latrell Sprewell. I mean, the Knicks got so many. Starks has a moment with the dunk, right? The dunk and getting it off, and Jordan and. Like balling out in those, and then talking shit like
Pacers Knicks series,
So many players the Knicks have had, man, and the thing is they've been irrelevant for so long.
Yeah,
Patrick Ewing's my favorite Knick. Bernard King to me was the most explosive Knick to ever do it. I mean, he dropped 50 in playoff games that people don't really talk about him at all. But anyway,
you can't forget about Jeremy Lin. Lin Sanity. So.
Speaking of Jeremy Lin, I got video of him and Ohtani working out, and they their agent hit me up and asked if we could do this. Take a look.
Jeremy Lin and Ohtani's working out together?
Yeah.
Look, Jeremy Lin and Ohtani, but what is this?
That is Jeremy Lin and Ohtani, homie.
Who's Ohtani?
Ohtani's over there on the left. This is in Japan. That's what they do to work out to get ready.
Oh, for like cardio?
This is their workout.
What do they do? So they're underwater, so they're obviously holding their breath because I see
they got a weight. It's like a solid, like 100-kilogram weight right there on the ground.
Oh,
so that weight holds them down. The one catch is hanging there from a string.
I was gonna say what's interesting is Buddy is just hanging there, not even moving or blinking. The other people are like going hard. It's like
so they're actually talking under there. Did you hear them?
They're talking.
They're talking under there. And so I was like, oh, shit, that's Ohtani. As soon as I hear that, I know it's Ohtani. But, yeah, they're doing a whole workout. The one girl hasn't – I mean, I'm going to tell you right now, I watched this last night, and I was really impressed.
This is dope, what they doing.
I'm impressed with the broad. Because she can hold her breath like a motherfucker. She hasn't gone up yet. So I don't know if you guys realize what that means, but she's not gone up for breath one time.
Well, she just went up just now.
Just now.
It's been 5.5 minutes, though.
It's 6 real-time minutes. So she can suck a dick like a motherfucker. I'm going to tell you right now. And Asians, I'm going to tell you. But anyway.
Wow,
yeah.
hold on. But why is is Buddy over there dead?
Y'all. Huh?
Is Buddy over there on the left dead, though? Are we sure he's alive?
I don't know. It's Ohtani. So he's alive.
Is moving, doing sit-ups, push-ups. Other brother over there just like this.
That's Ohtani. I mean, he is alive because they just played last night.
Okay, I thought he was playing. I didn't know that was really Ohtani.
The just shoot straight vertical like this, like they're not moving the water. Like it's crazy how like they're pretty like poetry in motion, homie.
They're way more talented than us, other than basketball.
I don't think
football.
So. Yeah, I just fucking up and chasing gorillas and fighting them. Yeah. Bailey, I sent you an Instagram thing real quick. I wanted to show you.
You always how you be on Instagram so much? Why like during the show?
No, I wasn't. It's way before. I'm not on the show. The phone's not even here.
Do the whole show like this.
That's fine. But somebody sent me a video of you after the 100-man fight. When the 100-man fight would go down.
Yeah.
And then you're like the last one. You're like the last one standing, kind of.
Okay. That makes sense.
Yeah. And so like, it's funny though. Like I saw the video, I'm like, damn, really? And they're like, yeah, this would probably be Smitty. To your point, JB. And I'm like, well, let me see the video. And I was like, all right, let me look at it. So I was popping it up and shit, and then it showed you like, kind of like, I don't know. Well, Bailey gets it in. We'll see. But this is kind of what they say you would be at the end of the fight.
So lost without you. I know you were right. Believe it so long.
Look at the size of that motherfucker. You think you guys could beat it? This shit is comical that we're still talking about it, but look at the size of this motherfucker.
He is huge.
That's a real gorilla, by the way. He
trained.
I've had dinner with this cat right here.
The gorilla?
Yeah, no, the white boy, the redhead. He's a good friend of Pat Perez. We had dinner one day at Craig. You know Craig's in LA.
Yeah.
Homie, he's not a big cat, but he's not like a midget. He's a real size human.
Yeah, he's like 5'6".
That's a real gorilla, by the way, homie.
It's trained.
That's a real silverback that is actually the size of him. Here's what I haven't figured out. How are you all going to kill the gorilla? Nobody's answered that question yet, homie. I've seen some crazy posts. We're going to stab him in the neck. I'm sorry. Stab him in the eyes with our fingers because there's no weapons, right?
Right.
How are you going to get to his eyes, homie? Like, he's going to just let you, like.
It's 100 of us. It don't take one person to get in there.
Homie. He can squirt. Remember I said.
Rip his eyes out. We going to break his toes and kick him in the dick.
Yeah. Remember I said remember I brought up the other day and I just ripped off these stats. And it's funny that everything I said was like damn near dead on balls accurate.
Hold on. That's the oxymoron. Damn near accurate or accurate? Is it accurate or damn near?
I said damn near dead on balls.
If it's damn near, that means it's not accurate at all.
Look how much he benches.
You didn't say none of this.
Well, I said 1,800 per square inch. I said he could throw a guy 30. Well, I said 50 feet.
All right.
I said a 6 foot, 200-pound man, 50 feet. Then I said 60.
So you were wrong then.
I wasn't wrong. This is just this is like an assumption. It's an assumption. Can crush a crocodile skull.
That's
homie.
not impressive. A crocodile face like this, I could do that.
You're not strong, crocodile.
I could grab a crocodile, pin that motherfucker back all the way and break it. Yes, I can. That's not impressive. All I'm saying is this: we're gonna hit all his weak spots. We're gonna kick up. Listen, he's damn near human.
5,000 pounds.
He's damn near human. We're gonna kick him in his balls. We're gonna rip his eyes out. We're gonna break his toes and break his fingers. We're gonna torture him. We're gonna torture him. All the weak spots.
We gotta move on. Jazzy said quote of the day. We gotta move on. Her and Chris get annoyed.
Okay, my fault.
They don't like
move
us.
on because I don't
They don't
want
like.
Yeah,
They don't like us talking too
they don't
much.
like when we like free game stuff like that. So
Yeah,
we'll keep it serious.
They must be boring in the bed.
Who?
Huh?
Who? Chris and Jazzy Jazz?
That's what you said.
No, that's what you said. I was asking. That's what you talking about though.
Stanford Routt joins us, NFL 10-year vet, current football coach, and then like I said, we'll get Jay Peterlin on for all things Cleveland as he hosts the 92. We'll get him right here in a minute. Smitty, let's dive into the quote of the day brought to you by BetUS TV. Head on over there, use the promo code Coach JB. Smitty, you got to think outside the box on this one, everybody out there. Smitty's smart enough to get it probably pretty quickly, and I'm pretty sure if I was a betting man, I would say, Smitty, he's going to get it right out the gate. A lot of you in here probably won't. Jazzy, Chris probably won't get it. Stop sitting on skills and talents that can change your life. Go to work.
Ooh, man. I feel like that's me every day sometimes, boy. Like, man, I'd be like,
what's the sitting part?
Just like
your ass, homie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Being lazy, making excuses. Thinking of reasons of why you shouldn't do it. Thinking of every reason why it won't work. Instead of going out there and just doing it and getting it. A lot of times your gut's going to tell you what you should be doing. God's going to put it on your heart. God wouldn't put it on your heart and your mind if it wasn't meant to be. He wouldn't give you the skills if it wasn't meant to be. But Big Jim Slade said this is me. So never mind. Ill Bill said not ranked. It's really funny how we like.
What's supposed to be one of those ranking ones?
We really created like a system where people really break down the quote. It's kind of funny.
AE is a major thing out there. There's a lot of things. WPS, Shaq and them stole it. Like, we got a lot of things that people use. But stop sitting on skills and talents means sitting on your ass. That is your skill and talent. Get up and go to work, man. Contrary to belief, brought to you by BetUS TV. Smitty, strong people don't have attitude. They have standards.
Oh, man.
Contrary to belief.
Hell yeah.
We don't have no attitude. Oh, your JB's an asshole. Not really. I just have a fucking standard I live by, homie. That's all it is. Sorry, my bad.
When I grew up, we called that the code. We had a code when I grew up. So I like that, homie.
Real quick.
I wouldn't rank neither one, but they're just good Friday quotes. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's a free game Friday. JB, do you ever drop crab pots from the boat ever to let the ocean provide your meal for the grill? No. Not really. Not where I'm at. I don't trust the water. Let's dive into the poll question, Smitty, real quick. Can Jalen Brunson be the greatest Knick of all time? Not is he. We know he's not. We've already agreed to that. Can he be? If he stays, obviously you'd have to stay a Knick, and that's what the one thing, Smitty, I want to talk about before we get into this. I don't believe there's anyone anymore that you can say. Right now we're talking about, how's LeBron? He's not a top 5 Laker, but how is he a top 5 player? All this talk we talk about. You just said Derek Fisher may be a better Laker.
Right.
I don't know if you can be a great anymore. These guys, except for a Steph who's been there the whole time. Kobe who's been there the whole time. Obviously Jordan and Draymond, all these guys. But we're never going to say Draymond's better than Steph as far as a Golden State Warrior.
He's a Golden State top player of all time for sure.
Yeah. Golden State Warrior top 5 ever. I mean, the top player ever is going to go to Chris Mullin, Hardaway, Mitch Richmond, obviously Steph Curry, all these those type of guys. Klay Thompson, you know what I mean? Like all-time greats. And I remember the Golden State team that beat San Antonio and went on, and Tom Tolbert, my good friend growing up, was on that team, starter on that team, led by the great Don Nelson. Run TMC, they called it. Yeah, I don't know if there's in the day that everyone moves around so much, Smitty, I don't know how many true greats are going to still be around to say, oh, he's the greatest of all time on this particular team. I don't think that happens anymore because these guys move around too much. So
I hear you, but like, for example, regardless of what happens with Giannis is probably the greatest Milwaukee Buck of all time, or well, one of them, because I know Kareem was there, so Kareem's kind of weird.
Wasn't there long enough, but right, Glenn Robinson,
yeah, big dog. But Giannis won a championship, so I love Glenn Robinson, but Glenn Robinson, I'm not putting him above Giannis. Giannis won a championship, so that's the pinnacle. And
I'm just saying longevity wise, all that stuff right now.
Yeah, but Devin Booker, say what you want. He's one of. I didn't say he was the. Obviously, Charles Barkley, Steve Nash. I'm just saying his whole career has been with one team. say what we want, but he's one of the top scorers there in the franchise history. He's one, you know what I'm saying? So I still think players.
He fell off, hadn't he? Woo. Oh, man, I remember you guys were comparing him to Kobe.
That's why he's still there. Just the Suns were weird. If you look at KD and Booker's numbers,
last year he was horrible.
They look the exact same. They've always looked, but they just were not winning games. It's weird. Yeah. So, but anyway, though, we got to talk about this a little bit later, JB, because if you scroll down, it's time for one of our big time guests. And I'm
no doubt.
This in the right way.
Man, the host of the 92, the 3, the fan in Cleveland, man, radio shock show host in Cleveland. Can't wait to get him on to talk about all things Cleveland and 92-3, the fan. Our main man, Jonathan Peterlin joins the
show. What's up, guys?
Hey, how you doing, brother? Appreciate you hopping on with us in the morning, man. I know it's earlier here, but you're already up and running around, probably figuring out the next Shedeur Sanders story. What's going on, man? How's it going there?
Shedeur's going on. That's what's going on. It's like I was telling this the other day. My wife's got like the Find My Phone on my phone. She can like basically. I'm like a Sims character to her, right? She can just track me anywhere that I go. That's us with Shedeur now. We're taking him to football fields. We're taking him to. He's running hills. He's going to the high schools. He's going to grammar schools. And we got every single hour on the hour. We know where Shedeur's at and what he's doing.
Does it get old?
No, I love it. But I really like Shedeur too, though. So that's a difference. I think for the people that didn't like Shedeur going into this has become a lot for them. But I think for myself, I was a Shedeur guy. I think he's wildly accurate. I think there's a lot of talent there. And so I'm having a lot of fun with it.
Let me ask you this before Smitty jumps in. Is it fair to Dillon Gabriel, though?
I mean, I'm not really concerned about that. I don't know that the Browns will be either. But what I will say that's working in Dillon Gabriel's favor, Stefanski clearly loves him. That is a Stefanski guy. That is if you made me guess, I would say that that was Andrew Berry looking out for Kevin Stefanski in making that pick in the 3rd round. I've heard a lot about Stefanski's love for Dillon Gabriel. So I don't think Dillon Gabriel's got to worry about it. Just go be better than Shedeur and don't worry about it.
Were you surprised, since we're talking about the draft right now, were you surprised when you heard the name Dillon Gabriel at that particular pick? Or did you kind of have – you were shocked? Okay.
Shocked. Yeah. I mean, I bet you guys were too. But in Cleveland, we break it down starting January 1st, I believe, is the first time I said Shedeur Sanders will be a Brown. It's 4 months of nonstop quarterback discussion, bringing on every guest in the world, talking it out, finding out who's great, who's not, everything up and down. And I don't think we brought up Dillon Gabriel maybe once. I mean, I think at one point I was rude and called him an Oompa Loompa, and that was really about it. That was. We didn't bring him up once, and then there he was in the 3rd round. And did the Browns take him so that it would make sure Jimmy Haslam didn't take and say, hey, we need Shedeur Sanders? I don't know. Conspiracy theories abound there, but they like him. They like him a lot.
Where you at with let me ask you something. So this thing's going to unfold here. You're going to all these guys in the room with a lame duck salary and Deshaun Watson, who knows if he'll ever play again in Cleveland or anywhere else. Let me ask you, when you break this down, Flacco and Pickett go at it. Is it possible or feasible that this room right now are all Browns? Because you're only going to probably roster 3, right?
Yeah, no, you're right. You're only going to roster 3. So Pickett or Flacco, one of them is going to lose out this battle.
And they'll go.
If you made me guess right now, I would say Pickett wins the battle over Flacco. Not because he's better, but think about it, guys. The more darts at the dartboard, you want to see what you got. If Stefanski can take Kenny Pickett and turn him into what Kevin O'Connell did with Sam Darnold, think about how you view Kevin Stefanski. You think he's back to being the quarterback whisperer. He's back to being this guy that knows what he's doing when it comes to quarterbacks. And so I think it's in Stefanski's best interest to go that route. Because let's be honest, I don't know how serious they are about 2025 in general to begin with.
No doubt. They might be doing another draft for another quarterback again in a year from now. That's the crazy part about it. So you think Flacco or Pickett is gone either to another team or gone? Flacco, in his case, he may say, fuck it, I'm hanging him up. Who knows, 40 years old or whatever. It's going to be interesting, man. I love Flacco. I think he's just a nutty, gutty performer. I wouldn't be shocked if he wins it either. But Pickett, obviously the youth, we'll see. A good point you made on that one. Where's the whole thing with Deshaun Watson? How does that affect your guys' roster as far as going forward? Is this a salary cap issue? I know they deferred money, another $30 million or whatever. They've done that, twice with them now? How's that work?
So you can't really get rid of him. Basically, March 2027. That's like the time frame. March 2027 is the first time you can actually just kind of get him off your roster and then not just destroy you from a cap ramification standpoint. And so he'll be there. He's going to be injured, and he'll be on, I would imagine, the IL for the majority of the season. And now with this crowded quarterback room, I think it's everyone's best interest to just have him not do anything this year. And then, like, if I'm Deshaun, I mean, I just start to pivot towards the following year, getting myself 100%, and then trying to go to another team after that. But yeah, it's March 2027 is the first part.
Jeez,
man, that's been just a crazy situation that I've never seen before. JB,
hey Jonathan, I got to ask you. There's a viral video going on. Myles Garrett said, "This is exactly what I knew we were going to do at the quarterback position," and everyone's like, "Shut the hell up, Myles." Where are you at with that take?
Wait, you're telling me Myles Garrett lied to a lot of people once again? I'm shocked.
Once again, that's the key phrase you just said.
It's so funny. He does a whole press conference talking about how he's so excited to be a Cleveland Brown, and it wasn't about the money, and they gave him this big master plan and everything, and it's like no one believes you. But then he goes and he does this interview that's going obviously viral, and he did this right after that press conference, by the way, right after it, and he does this video, and everyone's like, "Oh, Myles, telling the truth once again. They have a plan." It's like, he just spent 40 minutes telling you all these lies. Why are you believing him? And so, I'm not taking much that Myles has to say to heart right now.
Him and Micah Parsons got to be 1 and 2, or 1A and 1B as far as full of shit meter. That's unbelievable. Where else?
He keeps getting sacks, though. He can lie as much as he wants.
Oh, he's a freak, no doubt.
For sure.
What's your biggest roster spots that need to be addressed? Is it wide receiver? Is it where is it? Interior D line, backer? Where are you guys at as far as the roster going forward to be a competitive in AFC North? Probably maybe them in the West might be the two best divisions in football with the NFC North as well. Where are you at with what they need to compete and get to make it another playoff run?
Yeah, wide receiver, you nailed that one. And then they got it. I was shocked they didn't draft anything on the offensive line, because it's like right now this year it won't be the end of the world. You got Petonio for one more year, and then I would bet he retires. But you have everyone not named DeJuan Jones and Zach Zinner on that offensive line, and Zach Zinner's not a starter, up for contract at the end of this season. So like they're all going to be free agents. They do nothing there, and so not addressing that and going 2 running backs, going 2 quarterbacks in the draft, that was a big shock for a lot of people.
Man. So to me, what it sounds like, what you're saying, Jonathan, is that this year is going to be another down year for Cleveland, more than likely. It's going to be another year where they're bottom of the division, won't miss the playoff. Defense will probably play tough, keep them in some games, and it'll be the same old Cleveland story. Is that what I'm hearing?
Yeah, kind of. I mean, unless Shador is just awesome, or Dylan Gabriel's just awesome, and then they get to pivot. But yeah, like the whole point of the draft was you get Mason Graham, but you get that extra first-round pick, and you set yourself up for not this year, but next year. It was all about 2026, and this being that like poison pill year, based off the idea that when you traded Deshaun Watson and got Deshaun Watson, you just set yourself up in such a bad way that you have to dig out of it a little bit. And so that's what this is. You guys know this. It's football. This isn't baseball. We have to tear it down to the studs for 5 years. You can do this quick, but the Browns had to do it maybe in a 1 year, 2 year fix.
Is Stefanski's job safe though? Like, can he afford like having like another down year and still have a job next year? Like, is that okay? You're shaking your head, yes.
No, I'm shaking my head, yes, because you're nailing it. Like, that's exactly the question. Like, I don't think he can personally. He's got a belief within the front office that they are, and really Jimmy has them, that they're giving them enough of a runway. But think about it, guys. 6 years, 1 playoff win. Who keeps their job after that? But so far, Stefanski's been able to.
No doubt. Man. Hey, Jonathan, you from the Cleveland area? Are you born and raised straight from there, or?
No, I'm a Chicago guy initially. Now I've been in Cleveland for about 10 years or so. And so, Chicago guy originally, though.
Got you. Let me ask you something. The Cincinnati Bengals, obviously across the river there, and you guys are a big-time rivalry and all that stuff in that division alone. Re-signed T. Higgins. They got Jamar Chase. They're gonna make all these moves. They got these wideouts in Joe Burrow. Yeah. Obviously, Lamar's sitting in Baltimore, and obviously every year they're argued to be in the favorite of the Super Bowl hunt and the playoffs and all this stuff. Where is the Cleveland fan base when you think about all this and they're like, man, we got Pittsburgh, Baltimore, and Cincy. How do we compete with this? and then we get the quarterback room to what we have. We thought we had a splash into Shaun, a whole thing's unfolded. Is it all come down to the quarterback trying to compete with Lamar and Joe Burrow in that division, or is it bigger than that?
It's a lot about the quarterback. What's interesting, though, so when I first got here, everyone was just scared of Big Ben. And that was really it. You weren't that scared of Flacco, but you respected Flacco. And then Cincinnati was never that serious. So you just kind of let it go. And now, I mean, and I do believe, like, the Browns make picks based off of who's in just the AFC North. JUCO, the linebacker, was made to stop Lamar Jackson. It was a whole pick just to stop Lamar Jackson. So they're very well aware of the quarterbacks in this division right now, as you should be. But I think that's why they went with Deshaun Watson. I think that kick-started everything, is looking around. And at the time, I like Baker Mayfield. I was a Baker Mayfield guy. But at the time, what I believe they thought was that Baker Mayfield could only get you so far, like top 10 quarterback, 10-ish around there, if everything goes right. Now, they were wrong about that, but that's why they went for Deshaun, is because they knew they had to have like a top 5 quarterback somewhere in that range if you're going to compete with Lamar, Joe Burrow, and then obviously, whoever the Steelers end up putting out there.
I'm glad I was going to bring up Baker. I'm glad you brought up Baker Mayfield. Like, since you're there in Cleveland, boots on ground, like, are fans kind of upset that Baker's not there now? Just looking at his success, I know he's hopped around a little bit, but he's found a home with the Bucks, and he's been pretty damn good with them. Are fans in the area kind of upset about him not being there?
It was so split. Like, half the fan base loved him. I was in the camp that loves him, and now I just seem like I love every quarterback. That's not the case. I love Baker, and I love Shador, and that's really about it in between here. But I love Baker, but it was like it was as divisive as the Shador Sanders convo is. I don't know why Cleveland Browns fans. It's like 50-50 always with these quarterbacks. But Baker reminds me a lot of Shador in many ways, though, and I have to figure out why in my brain I like a guy like that. The guy that seems like they're maybe an underdog a lot of their life and then are just rising up. Like Baker was a walk-on where he had to host Patrick Mahomes for a visit at Texas Tech and was like, oh, you mean I'm not going to win this quarterback battle? Let me go transfer and let me go to a different school. And, you look at Shador and all the battles he's had to overcome and what he's able to go ahead and rise up with. Like, there's got to be something there that in my brain loves that story, but they both have that story. And what's interesting is half of Cleveland loves that story and the other half just doesn't.
Interesting.
Let me ask you something real quick, man. I want to hold you. I know you got the babies and stuff. Let me ask you something real quick. Where there's obviously the viral video of going Stefanski and the GM kind of just when you pick Shador, right? And it's kind of like a nonchalant. And I know kind of how the draft works a little more than that. And I know it's more of a longer deal. It's been a 3-day deal. And they're probably like, fuck, they actually did that with every pick they made. Let me ask you, what's the sentiment like that as hard as Shador fell, everyone out there seeming to think, oh, this was Haslam and this was an ownership call with Dion and Haslam and Dion's relationship, and they made Stefanski take Shador, and Shador had been passed by and taken off boards and other teams and Ross, all this stuff. Is there any deep dive into that you guys do as a radio show? Like, hey, is this really something we wanted, or is this something we just had to take?
Yeah, oh, for sure. And so, like, I had people from the Browns tell me that it was not a Jimmy Haslam decision. But I would tell you guys this. What do you think people from the Browns are going to tell me? So you kind of got to suss it out a little bit. I still believe it was Jimmy Haslam. I think he was involved in it. He's done a very good job of staying away in recent years. Like, I'll commend him. He's stayed away. He likes this group. And Barry, D. Podesta, Stefanski, he likes this group. But I mean, I just, I wasn't born yesterday too. You know what I mean? Like, I think Haslam was involved in that one, and that's okay. I'm fine with that. Now it's on Stefanski to go ahead and between Gabriel and Shador, show us why you're good at coaching quarterbacks. Show us why you can do this.
Because, like, at the end of the day, is there a way that this backfires on Stefanski and ultimately gets him fired? Let's just say, for instance, Shador beats out Dylan Gabriel. Now, why did you take Dylan Gabriel in the 3rd round? Like that's going to be the question, right? Like, is that something that backfires on this thing?
I don't think so. If he gets Shador to a place that's significantly better than Dylan Gabriel, but the Browns are winning, I think he's going to be looked at like, you're great. You can do this with anybody. In fact, I think it'll be like the greatest thing Stefanski could pull off because so many people just don't believe in Shador's talent the way that I do.
That's a good point. That's a good point, man. We shall see. I'm the Shador supporter on this show. JB thinks he's not that good. And, hey, now we're at a point, though, instead of us arguing back and forth, I say, hey, time will tell. You know, the film won't lie. Now, the one thing that we agree upon though is that when you're drafted as a 5th round guy, typically though, in terms of the way the practice goes and just in terms of like reps, your reps are very much limited when it comes to just, you know, how many, especially reps with the one receivers. You're probably not gonna get too many reps throwing the ball at them. And so like Shedeur really has it's gonna be tough for him to like really go out there and like improve himself to even, because you got people online saying Shedeur's gonna be the day one starter and this, that. I don't see that, but to even get to that point, he's gonna have to really like, I guess, like shock the coaches during his few reps that he gets at practice. Like, do you see that being a problem at all? Like reps?
No question. I mean, think about how crowded this room is already. That's why I think it's so important that they add value to either Flacco or Pickett and are able to move them as quick as they can. Because, as you mentioned, I mean, there's just not enough reps to go around.
Yeah.
No doubt. Jonathan, I can't thank you enough, man, for hopping on with us. And hopefully, man, we can get you back on again as the season goes on or during the season or something and give us some insight on what's happening there, man, as we see what this quarterback room obviously does and how good this team ends up being. You guys have a lot of talent still. You're still a loaded roster for the most part. So, real quick, last thing I got for you. Oh, sorry, Smitty. Is there any free agent wideouts you guys are going to go after or make a move, any more moves with veterans inside the league other than what happened in the draft? Is there anything that you guys you can see them eyeballing or anything to get a perimeter savvy wideout in the room?
I think the Deontay Johnson one was it, and that was it's a risk, right? I mean, we all know about him. So like I don't know that's going to work out for him, but they're in a spot to go ahead and roll the dice a little bit on guys like that. See if it works out, and then you go for 2026. But that feels like it's about it.
Deontay was on like 9 teams last year, so I wish him the best of luck. Hopefully he matures up and this is his home. My only last thing I was going to say, and I have no idea if you're paying attention to it at all, but do you by chance watch the NBA a little bit? If so, how you feel about your Cleveland Cavaliers out there? You feel good?
We cover it all. Yeah, we cover it all. I love that everyone moved into them being like NBA Finals contenders and better than the Celtics after a Heat series, because we've been talking about that all year long. We've been raving about this team all year long, but it was good they showed up in the postseason because that was the big question mark. You know, 2 years ago, they absolutely lay an egg against the Knicks, 5 games, get destroyed, out-toughed, out-muscled, the whole everything. And then last year, Orlando took them to 7 games. They're down 18 at the half. You're losing that series. You rally to then get spanked by Boston. So this has been a much better series and much better playoffs for this Cavs team. They're really good. They're really talented.
Yeah, they are. They're good.
Can they beat Boston?
I think so. Yeah, but I mean, I think it all depends on whether or not Boston gets hot from the outside. And I think this Darius Garland toe injury too. Pay attention to that. I think Darius Garland is the answer to whether or not they beat Boston or don't beat Boston. If he plays well, I don't think there's a team that can beat the Cavs.
Ooh, we might have a Cleveland Cavaliers and OKC Thunder final matchup.
The NBA will fucking go out of business if that's the final. Hey, Jonathan, man, I can't thank you enough, brother. Appreciate you.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate you.
All right, brother.
Take care. Clap it up, chat. Clap it up, man. Jonathan Peterlin. Make sure y'all go tune in. Follow him online on social for all things Cleveland. And man, it's gonna be interesting to see what happens in
the NBA can't afford it, dude. The NBA can't afford a Cleveland OKC finals.
Two small markets.
Unfortunately, you and I may love it if it's good basketball, and those are the 2 best teams and shit. And real fans will love it. Like they know the teams are good, the best, but small market would kill the viewership. It would kill the NBA, man. That's what's unfortunate. That's why people always talk about the betting side taking over in the conspiracies of all this shit. Like, oh, it's betting. There's no way they let OKC Cleveland in the finals and blah, blah, blah. We've seen OKC and Cleveland in the finals, though. So, but it had LeBron James and KD, and I don't know.
And Westbrook and Harden.
Yeah, I don't know if this has a strong. I mean, we get that they have 2 great players. I love Donovan Mitchell. I love, Alexander. But damn, they're not LeBron and KD. They don't. Those names don't pop off the screen, homie.
What the league really wants is a rematch of the Boston Celtics and the Golden State Warriors. At this point, in my opinion. That's what I think they want is that rematch. You know what I'm saying? So, but
even Denver.
Yeah, Denver be cool for sure because they already won. Yeah, because they've already won a championship recent years. Obviously, Boston won last year, so it's like the last 2 champions seeing each other, clash in the finals would be good. Even the Clippers probably because the Harden, Kawhi are still LA. So, but man, I just went down to something else, man. We're gonna do it a little differently. What's happening now?
What's
happening now, man? Brought to you
are
by
right
Bet US. That's me right there on the right. And I'm actually read this one a little bit differently because this is a different one. So from Compton to D2, Jason Brown's college days before Last Chance U and Netflix, JB was a JUCO All-American trying to prove he belonged. He showed up at FHSU football in 2000, started 2 years and left top 10.
Gangster. Look at
in
gangster.
school history for yards and touchdowns. He transferred in the 2000 season, started right away, threw for over 3,600 yards, 29 touchdowns over 2 years. Fort Hays ran a fast-paced spread, and Brown handled it. JB handled it. Big arm, quick tempo. It wasn't always pretty, but he got the job done, man. He got the job done. All-American, man, from Compton, JUCO, like I said. Crazy years there. And obviously, we fast forward after Fort Hays. You had a few short pro stops before jumping into coaching. Compton, Garden City, Independence, 3 seasons of dream. You turned a 2-8 program to a 9-2 bowl winner. Very Deion Sanders like. Stepped down in 2019 after a little situation went public. And now, these days, man, JB speaking across the country, hosting the amazing show he's doing right now. Very vocal about JUCO, recruiting, life after football. Whatever you think of JB, one thing has never changed. One thing has never changed. He's going to say what he believes, and a lot of players still listen.
I don't know that story. I just saw it last night pop up, and I don't know. It's crazy. It was a D2 guy or something. Shout out, though. I was like, damn, I wonder why they chose that. The show getting bigger. That's why people.
You look like a skinhead right there.
Show getting bigger. Yeah, I was on Higher Learning. Me and Rapport.
Like a skinhead right here. What's that movie when they stump Curb? They Curb stumped the dude with his mouth open.
Oh, that's I never watched that movie. It was
I watched it one time.
I know what you're talking about though. American something.
American History X.
Yeah.
Woo, that movie crazy, boy.
Yeah, I was better than Shador though. I was far better than Shador. Much better arm.
You had an ugly release though, but you did have a big arm.
Three-quarter. I had strong arm.
You had a weird like Phillip Rivers-esque release.
Three-quarter. Kurt Warner, Trent Green, three-quarter, Marino. Marino. It's so quick. It was so quick, homie. It was
wrong with you all.
Yeah, my release was quicker than all of them.
Yeah, man. You was my favorite type of quarterback to go against, though, boy.
Yeah, I would have stiff armed you. They called me him. Back before anything like that, before any of that, I was him. That's what they said.
Nah, I believe you was a good. I know you was a good player. You played pro. I don't care what league it was. You don't play pro if you're just some shitty player. I'm just saying I would have sacked and shot you. Cooper Rush is pro, and I sacked him.
Never got me. I would have stiff armed you. I would have gouged your eyes out like the gorilla, homie.
Nah, you wouldn't, homie.
I mean, I'm just.
You understand? You're trying to get the ball down the field.
Right there, I took a chin shot. I took a chin shot right there.
I know you did.
Yeah. Took it right there. I took a chin shot. I wore a mouthpiece though. Wore a mouthpiece. Never got concussion, homie.
I miss playing D-line, man. I tell you, man. It's just something about that position. It's such a grimy, gritty. Like playing defensive line is like life. It's so hard every single day, every single rep. You try, and you try again. And majority of the time, when we're talking about pass rush, and like sack rate, majority of the time you actually lose as a defensive lineman, right? You're not getting the quarterback that much. So when you do get him, it's like the best orgasm in the world. It's like I've been working all day. It's like life. I've been working hard my whole life for this one door to open, and it finally opened. And boom, I'm here. We about to have a party. And shout out to all my guys who play D-line, man, at any point in your career, any level. It's an amazing thing, and I would have sacked the hell out of JB multiple times.
Here we go. See, that's why I don't like people that just say anything. Sorry. I don't like guys that just say anything.
Oh, this is stupid.
God, why do people say shit? It literally has nothing to do with your teeth whatsoever. It has nothing to do with your teeth at all.
Concussions and brain.
The mouthpiece is the single #1 deterrent for concussions.
Everybody do this right now in the chat.
Bite down and see if you don't fucking rattle your skull right now.
Tell me what you feel when you do that.
Do it without a mouthpiece right now. Go like that. And see if you don't fucking jar your brain, you fucking idiot. Why do people say stupid shit like that? By the way, when you hit your head on the back of a fucking concrete turf and you're fucking no mouthpiece and your jaw goes, bow. Guess what causes a concussion? Your fucking jaw going, bow. Not your teeth, you fucking moron.
And now you're going to choke on your tongue.
Some people just shouldn't say anything ever again. No, period. Like, you should never talk again in real life.
Like never even say a word.
I don't even want to ever see you talk again in real life.
Like just do sign language?
In public. Like, yeah, just come up to me and gorging me. I don't want to see you say shit, homie.
You got to stop saying that, homie.
I don't want to ever talk to you.
What's going to happen to you? Stop saying that, homie. Stop saying Gorgon.
What?
Stop saying Gorgon and doing that thing with your hand, homie. That's bad. That's bad.
I like
Gorgon. Bad karma. That's bad karma on the show. Stop doing that.
I'm not. I like
Gorgon.
Gorgon.
Last time you did that, somebody took over our whole show. F.A. and them.
I like Gorgon, homie.
Greg Turd Hurler. That's a weird name.
Pac-Man and AB going at it right now on Twitter, homie. Pac-Man just put out his cell phone number online and told everybody to call him. He needs help.
I want to call him right now and prank call him.
Prank call AB and say you're being drafted by the fucking Cleveland Browns.
What we got next, homie? Oh, Josh. Okay, Uso.
We got some white people.
15 tackles in 12 games my senior year. Top 20 out of all D1s. Okay.
We got some WPS and some BPS. I got this unfortunate WPS I wanted to show everybody.
Why was it unfortunate?
Because I don't really, it makes white people look stupid. Makes us look even dumber and more adventurous. Like, I just don't like it. Take a look, man.
Whoa. Oh, no. Please don't let go. 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 Please don't. Ah, she. Woo! God, there's nothing about that.
Hold on, though, homie. Hold on, though.
It's still going?
They're on top of the balloon, homie. Walking. They're walking around, homie.
She's like smiling and stuff, and like
she ran off the balloon, homie. Off the top of the balloon, she ran off the side, homie. I mean, they got a full on like
that's a trampoline,
like trampoline, homie.
I'm not gonna lie, man. These are the real gangsters. Like when we talk about gangsters and all that, these are the real gangsters. Like they're not scared because I don't know no real street. Ain't no street dudes doing this.
No,
they're scared of shit. But these people ain't scared. So if you're not scared to do this, you're not scared of anything. In my opinion, there's nothing that can scare you on earth. There's nothing on earth that can scare you. These are the people that will go try to fight that gorilla. These are the people that will like go
that is them. That is them.
That's literally them. They're not scared of anything. They walk in any hood, just loosey goosey, just not even have any conscious mind that they shouldn't be there.
Hey, shout out to the homies. Shout out to the homies in the hood. By the way, for getting old boy, they jacked his bitch ass, got $300,000 off him. That little white boy that's a content creator, little bitch. I always see him around. I can't stand that motherfucker. I don't know his name, but they got him. The homies got him in Beverly Hills. So shout out to the homies and punking his bitch ass security and all that. Shout out to you guys for getting his.
Oh, the little dudes, they stole his chains. They tried to get his watch and they took his shoes.
I don't know his name, but here's the thing. You saw the text I sent you from the homie. That's what should have happened to Ann Edwards walking around on Fig in front of fucking Crypto the other day. That's what should have happened. That's what used to happen. What's his name, Smitty? The kid, the white guy, the kid you said?
No, I don't. I think it's Doherty. Something like that.
Yeah. Little white boy that's always doing something. I'm glad we got him. I'm glad we got that mother.
Don't involve yourself in that, bro. Don't say nothing stupid. Don't say nothing stupid. They use this type of stuff now. Trust me. They use music, all that. Don't play around with that. Everybody's listening. He is joking. He has nothing to do.
I hate that kid, though. I hate that kid. I'm not joking about that. I don't hate nothing, but that's something I almost hate. I almost hate that kid.
And no, they shouldn't have done that to Anthony Edwards, homie, an NBA player who's trash talking about the basketball court.
Yeah, they
don't even put that out there, homie. You understand? You have influence. Don't get one of these dumbasses beat up.
Hey,
going out there and try.
Let me ask you, the text you saw from my boy who's been on the show. Let me ask you though. See, you're not true LA though. It's hard to ask Smitty though. See, true LA cats are like Luka, JJ, LeBron, all got to get up out of LA for allowing that shit to go down. And he made a hell of a fucking point. Like real LA cats, you got to go, LeBron, Luka, JJ, because you're directly associated with that motherfucker walking down Figueroa, homie, talking shit about beating your bitch asses in 5.
They have nothing to do with
it has everything to do with it. Everything. That's why you're not from LA. You don't get it. Fuck.
How in the world would they know that his plan? I bet you Anthony Edwards didn't even know he was going to walk to the hotel the game. That was probably like a
Smitty,
macro.
Moment.
You know what?
Macro. Think macro here, homie. Why did my boy say JJ, Luka, LeBron got to go? Because they lost. They're the ones that lost to these motherfuckers and then they allowed them to walk around, homie.
When you say allowed walk around, what are you saying should have happened? Be specific.
Press them. Ran up on that motherfucker. Motherfucker, bitch ass up out of here. We don't give a fuck. Like, we don't care if we lost to you motherfuckers. You ain't walking around LA talking that shit. Motherfucker, you from Minnesota. Or he not from Minnesota, but still, Minnesota. Come on.
He's not from Minnesota.
I know, but still, Minnesota won. Like, come on.
You gonna get one of these fans beat the fuck up.
By who? Jack Marty or whatever his name is.
One of these NBA cats.
Doherty.
Yeah, Forces can't fight. I'm saying some of these NBA cats ain't soft like you think.
Hey, what's the deal? No, they're soft. What's the biggest deal?
Ain't soft.
What's the odds of that white boy that got jacked in Beverly Hills for $300K? That it was all content and fake?
It's a high probability. I mean, he's
High
recording himself afterwards, like, man, they came up to me and just stole my chain. They tried to get my watch. Like, they record everything. Because me, if I got robbed, I'm not telling nobody. I mean, I might tell my close homies because we're about to go figure some stuff out. But like, I'm not like recording videos and putting it out there. That's embarrassing. Hey, y'all, guess what just happened, y'all? I just got my ass beat. They stole both my chains, man. Took my watch. Hey, man, it's crazy. Like, what? These kids are crazy, bro. This is all Bailey generation too. These kids are crazy, bro. They record everything. Good, bad.
I mean, and then the thing they sent me, I was looking at it, and he was like trying to like, why did you get? What happened? Where's your gun? The dude was like, they had a gun, bro. That shit sounds fake as fuck. That shit sounded fake as fuck. But I would love to beat the shit out of that kid. But anyway, we got a lot going on, Smitty. Let's take a quick break because we got a lot of free game Friday on the other side. Get into some sports, get into what's going on. We'll talk a little Clippers, and James Harden averaged 13 points the last two games, looking like old playoff James Harden. Last night he shows back up again. The inconsistent James Harden. Can he win a big game 7 when it matters? That's going to be the key here in Denver. Curious. Where you at with that, Smitty? We're going to see. Can you win a big game? Can you win a big game? You got Kawhi, who's won it and done it and made a big shot. And you got Ty Lue, but James Harden's going to be needed to get him over the hump when you know Jamal Murray is a big game player. So we're going to see how that unfolds. And then my Kings lost.
Man, I'm so disappointed, homie.
Damn. I was rooting for the Clippers to lose, so just everything in L.A. would be shut down so I could go just start fucking looking for the Jack Dohertys of the world and fucking them up. Since there'd be no sports, and then we just focus on Ohtani and the Doyers. Dodgers back in first place, best record in baseball, even though they've been really kind of mid to their standards. They're still the best team in baseball. So
Yankees were good though. Yankees been kind of good. Though.
Yeah, nah, they lost. More Shedeur Sanders talk right after this.
Like this, and guess what happens? When the first guy gets his face ripped apart and the guy's body gets snapped in literal half, 100 other dudes were running away. The fight's over. Y'all keep bringing up this blasphemous, fictional fucking story tale that you think is going to really happen. You are going to get ripped in literal half, homie. Because no human on this earth can even grasp the concept of how strong this animal is. It's not a normal, just walk-of-the-mill pit bull, homie. This is a man with a 9-foot wingspan, hands bigger than Andre the Giant, who can run 25 miles an hour, who has a gigantic vertical leap, who can climb a tree 100 foot tall in 30 seconds, you're going to beat that.
100 of them.
Stop.
All right, so let me ask you this then. So what's the number, homie? Because what you basically saying, you're saying is no matter what the number is, then based upon what you're saying, it don't matter. We can have 1,000 men. It don't matter what it is. We can never beat them.
It doesn't. And let's dive into the whole strategy thing.
Homie, you hear what you saying right now?
Yeah, I do.
So, hold on. So 1,000 men couldn't be one gorilla.
Why do we keep moving up the thing? Let's talk about the fucking 100. You can't stay focused. You can't stay focused.
Hold real quick, because people in my chat been going at me. So I want to know, what's the number then? Because if 100,
there ain't a number.
Can do,
there ain't a number. Because there's not 100,000 or 100,000 men who are going to sit there and watch his homie get his literal face ripped off his skull and broken in half and then stick around and fight.
I'm not pussy.
That's the first problem.
I'm not pussy, Jason. If me and you in the
Go
battle,
so you're going to go out there and die.
I would die for you, homie. If me and you in battle, and I see somebody rip your face and split your body in half, I gotta die for your honor. I can't just run away.
I'm not gonna be there. Sorry.
Hold on, you're definitely gonna be there. You're a white boy.
No, I'm definitely not going there.
You're a white boy.
I actually know what a gorilla does. So,
you probably try to talk to him. You probably go out there and try to talk to him.
Here's the thing. You know what the funny part is? I did not know, Smitty, till yesterday that this was a real discussion.
I asked y'all to make this the thumbnail. Betty thought he said if we bored. JB didn't respond. I know this shit, homie. I do this shit at a high level.
Y'all really are dead serious that you think this shit blows my mind. Number one, I'm looking at Twitter. I'm like, you gotta be shitting me. Guys are really having a heated debate on a podcast about this. But nobody mentions the fact. Here's what the debate was.
Yep.
Well, we can outsmart him.
Yes.
You can go over here and circle him up, and then he'll turn his back. Turn his back. You know what they'll do? This motherfucker will literally just from me to you when you circle him.
Yep.
And then he goes like this, and then you think you're gonna rush him. He's gonna go like this.
Okay, how many arms does he have?
And then he's gonna do like that. And you're gonna be like, where'd that motherfucker go? And then this gorilla has 6 guys like this. And then he goes like this, homie. He bites your fucking body, and his teeth will go literally through your bones. And literally 1,800 pounds per square inch of pressure will break every bone in your body. And then he can literally throw a human being that's 6 foot, 200 pounds, 50 feet. He could throw a 6 foot, 200 pound man 60 feet, homie, like this. And you and I think we can get in there. And
JB, how you gonna run?
You think we can get in there and have a strategic fucking battle with this guy when at the end of the day, what do I say, just me? It ain't it's Jimmy's and Joe's. It ain't X's and O's. He is literally every Jimmy and Joe you can fucking grasp. And this is MMA fighters, okay? The best MMA fighter, 100.
You got 100 John Bone Jones. I'm going with 100 John Bone Jones. 100
John Bone Jones will die like this.
He a dog, homie. I don't know.
Smitty, you're asking
Can you show me how the gorilla go?
Is the next debate 100 guys killing a great white?
Can you show me how the gorilla gonna run one more time? Like after they surround him, please.
You know they're faster than any human, right?
Can you show me how he's sprinting across the thing after they surround him, please?
Homie, you won't see him. It's so fast you won't see him.
You do it again, babe. Did you see that sprint he did to the side?
He's not gonna. I'm telling you, it's unbelievable that cats really think they could. First of all, there's not 100 men that's going to stand there and watch their
that's the hypothetical. I'm just saying hypothetically, though.
I get it.
Did happen. Okay, Jamie, for real. If I've only got 2, he only got 2 hands. So if we surround him, homie, and we all it has to be the same time. It's not a one-on-one. It's not one person fighting at one time.
Oh, we are back. Jamil Ridley, I don't give a fuck if he has armed security or not. Are you fucking that dumb? God damn, you defend any motherfucker, homie. That's unbelievable. You think we give a fuck about him having armed security, homie, in L.A.? Your favorite rapper comes to L.A. to die, homie. You fucking idiot. You don't think they had it fucking armed security too? God damn, some of you motherfuckers are delusional, homie. It's really fucking delusional.
That ain't something to brag about, homie. Stop bragging about that, homie.
I don't even see you.
Yeah, I like it like that. Pause. You
Yeah,
hear
I
me
like
though? You hear me though? Yeah, let's do this the
That's
whole
kinda
show.
tight.
Like
I
this,
like
homie.
that. I
I'm
like
the
that.
voice. I'm the voice. You don't need to see my face. Stop bragging about people coming here and getting harmed and having to check in. That shit ain't. What are we doing, homie? Stop bragging about that. You a 50-year-old man. Use your platform and your power to influence positivity, homie. You ain't 17 years old no more out in the streets banging. You're a leader of men. You're a master manipulator and a master motivator. You're a guy that's been helping guys change their lives and chase their dreams for years. And you still out here bragging about people getting beat up, killed, harmed for quote-unquote disrespecting LA? What's your problem, homie? You're not hard no more, Jason. You're 50 years old. You're out of shape. You're fat. You smoke and drink every single day. You're not. I couldn't keep a serious face, y'all, because Jamie kept smoking and was just looking like he ain't listening to nothing I'm saying. I couldn't keep
Yeah, because I know when you come to LA, you check in with me. So let's dive into D Jones. I know you're not testing the fucking gorilla whisperer, homie, about the types of gorillas, homie. Because I know every single thing there is to know about gorillas, homie. There's Western gorillas, there's Eastern gorillas, there's Western lowland gorillas, which is actually a gorilla that's like, 300 to 400 pounds, not overly big. The girls only get to about 200 pounds. They're the shorter, darker coated ones.
Whoa.
And then they got the Cross River gorilla. The Cross River gorilla is usually out of Cameroon and Nigeria. They're like a smaller, they're a little smaller than the Western lowland gorilla. And then you got the mountain gorillas. Those are the ones, man. They found in like different volcano regions where a lot of volcanoes are, like the Congo, Uganda, Rwanda. Those are the big time ones. And then you got the Eastern lowland gorillas. Those are the ones that are like all straight from Congo. They're Congo.
On the Animal Planet.
Huh?
They need to put your ass on the Animal Planet. You need an Animal Planet show. You breaking shit down.
I told you I studied gorillas, homie, for a whole year, but y'all think I'm bullshitting. But anyway.
Was that like a project you did in the slow class? Because that's not something normal we do.
Yeah, I know everything about gorillas, homie.
I know. Was that like a slow class you had?
They fascinated me. They fascinated me because their mind is similar to us. That's why they would fucking absolutely destroy a bear. That's why they would absolutely destroy a fucking grizzly bear, homie. They would absolutely destroy.
I actually sent you a video on Instagram yesterday. I should have sent to Bailey.
Homie, you don't understand. You don't understand what a gorilla thinks like. They think like us. A grizzly bear is just a dumb animal. They go, duh! And the gorilla is gonna fucking sit there and grab it with his fucking. He's got 4 fucking hands, and that is his feet, by the way. He can literally go do all kinds of shit. Then he can hang from a thing, grab the bear. He'll fuck a bear up so quickly, homie.
If a gorilla is as smart as us, why have they not taken over the world?
Because, homie, we haven't taught them how to shoot a gun yet.
Because they're not that fucking smart then, homie.
They are that smart, homie.
You're giving them too much credit. Either
they are that smart. They are that smart.
Either they're as smart as us or they're not. They can't be damn near as smart as us. It's oxymoron, homie.
Anyway, homie, we got a lot to discuss here on the Realest Show on Planet ERF. Hopefully, D Jones never asks me again about anything because I'll make him look stupid as fuck. So I know he tried to be. By the way, Max Hess, that is what they would do, homie. That is the funniest part, though. The gorilla would actually just throw a human like this. 200-pound gorilla. 200-pound human. A gorilla would just throw him like this.
I love how your arm just went like that, though.
And Smitty, you would literally fly 50 feet.
No, it's just 30 feet, I think, on the post.
Yeah, but he'd be, think about it, how many adrenaline goes flowing. He has 100 cats rushing him. Adrenaline, he's psycho right now. He motherfucking throwing you 200. He might be throwing you
And I'm psycho too right now.
100 feet.
Was it you or Bailey? I think it was you sent me a video of a guy actually breaking down the people he would get to build out that 100 people.
Yeah.
this.
Yeah. It was a well thought out deal.
It really was.
But it was a dumb one. It was very dumb.
He was like 15 of these. It was like swole dudes running.
Yeah.
And
First of all, 15 of those guys, the 15 sumo wrestlers aren't going out there. First of all, sumo wrestler, he would literally choke on his own breath. That's how out of shape they are. They're literally
hypothetically, though.
Hypothetically, that's my point. Hypothetically, you don't have weapons. You're not gonna gouge his eyes out, homie. It's fucking unbelievable. Anyway,
before we move on,
what are you eating, homie?
None. Before we move on,
I'm professional.
Here's my argument. Why is there an echo? Whoa. 3, 2, 1. Hello? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I was gone. Here's my argument, homie. What's the number? Because your argument is that it don't matter if we had 1 million humans, since there's no way to penetrate the gorilla, there's no weapon, there's no way to kill him. So to you, the number don't matter. It could be infinite humans in one gorilla, and we could never win because there's no weapon. Is that what you're saying? Is that your argument?
You're not, homie, because you're not. First of all, the argument is you're not going to stand in there. When you see a guy's whole head and brain get squeezed by an animal to death, like it just turns into mush, you're going to be like, what the fuck is that? He just squished this dude's skull and turned it into sand.
But like, I'm saying we got 100 dudes off cocaine.
So let's be real here. Let's come on, homie.
Thank you.
Let's be honest. A gorilla grabs this motherfucker. First guy runs up. Gorilla grabs his head and just turns it into dirt. Blah! And this motherfucker's head blows up. Is the next guy really running up on this motherfucker, homie?
The way you're listing it isn't how it would go down. It's not no 1v1. We're all coming at the same time. I don't even have enough time to see the gorilla rip that head off. Like, it's happening because soon as he grabs the one head, I'm already on his ass.
It will go down that way. It will go down that way.
It's all happening simultaneously, homie.
It will go down. It ain't simultaneously.
It's not a 1v1. What are you talking about?
The cat is going in circle. He's going doing 360 twists and just clubbing everybody. Have you not seen the AI fucking thing, homie?
Did you hear the video that you sent me? We're fucking slide kicking his ass in his legs. We're not just be standing up taking it. Like, it's strategy. We got 25 guys hitting them low, 25 hitting them in the middle. 25.
Let's be honest. Can we have a real discussion? Can we have a real discussion?
You pissing me off.
First of all, out of 100 cats, for just on shits and giggles, are you going to be in the 100?
If life on the line and I have
no. For shits and giggles, just to do a show for content, 100 guys goes out there against a gorilla. Are you going to be one of the 100?
My life is too valuable. No.
All right. So there. First of all, that's how billions of people think, by the way. So first of all, you're not even going to find 100 guys to go out there. Now, let me make it interesting for you. $1 billion. I offered you $1 billion to be a part of the 100. Are you going?
No, I'm not, homie. I'm black.
So even for $1 billion?
No, I'm not.
So, but you think there's guys out there? You're turning down $1 billion to be part of the 100.
I don't care about money, homie. I'm wealthy. I'm wealthy in my mind. What I'm trying to tell you is this, homie. It's possible for it to happen.
This motherfucker's got a whole diagram about it, homie. It's unbelievable.
I'm not speaking about what I do it. My argument is it possible for 100 people to do it? And I'm saying yes, it's possible. That's all I'm saying. We just gotta strategize. That's all I'm saying.
Not possible. It's not even a strategize about it, homie. Pure strength is you got to get to him, right?
Saying, it don't matter what we do. It could be 100 of the toughest, smartest soldiers in the world. It don't matter what we get. There's just nothing we can do. It don't matter what it is. If Trump sent out our military and for whatever reason, all our weapons got destroyed and this one gorilla was taken over and we said, we got 100 military men left. We got to beat this fucking gorilla for the sake of humanity, for the sake of the United States to survive. Trump gives this great speech to the army, to the soldiers, said, go out there and get them. You're saying it's literally impossible. 0.000000000% chance that these soldiers go out there and find a way to defeat one gorilla. Is that what you're saying?
With no weapons. Correct.
Oh, okay. Well, I guess you don't respect our military then and our vets.
No, homie, there's a reason why dinosaurs are extinct. There's a reason why you don't swim in the fucking Pacific Ocean with great whites. There's a reason why there's certain elements and certain things that we're just not supposed to do without weapons, without boats, without fucking airplanes. It's just, that's what it is, homie. You're not designed to beat a gorilla. It's really not that hard. It's really not that hard. It's really called science, biology, biomechanics, just real simple fucking math too. At the end of the day, it's really simple math. Like
I thought you was a guy who had a tattoo in your body that says "Walk by faith, not by sight." I thought you was a guy that believed that Jesus walked across the water and split the Red Sea so his people can go across. I thought you was that guy, but maybe you're just lying and you say that when it's convenient, and on the other side you don't really believe what your tattoo says.
Yeah. It's also I have another tattoo though on my body that says "Dumb fucks get smoked."
Where's that at?
So I got
where's that at? Where's that at? It's on your lower back. You got a tramp stamp.
I don't even know what that is. That sounds gay. Well, let's dive into the next topics. Really, I want to show you though. Pac-Man and AB got something going on. Then AB got something going on with Asante Samuel, and AB's in the news right now. But so basically, somebody did text AB, and he did say go to rehab based on Adam Pac-Man Jones posting his number, doxing him or whatever. I'm me and Adam Pac-Man. Me and Pac are cool. I like Pac. I don't know AB. I know AB's pops, a JUCO guy. I wouldn't have put a number out there. I would actually just say, fuck it, let's meet up if we got that much beef.
That might be the rehab number.
Huh?
That might be a number to the like a rehab clinic.
Says somebody call AB. That's his number. And this guy said it worked for me, and the text went through.
Oh shit, my fault. I didn't even catch all that. My fault.
Macro, homie.
No, in that moment I was micro. In that moment I was.
Because you're not focused.
I'm so real. I can admit when I'm tripping. Like I'm really
I'm not even tripping that you were tripping. I'm tripping that you were not focused on the show.
I'm very focused on the show. I just read this wrong. Because like when I saw when I saw works for me, I thought the man was replying saying like rehab worked for me.
Yeah,
and I thought he just put like some random picture of AB. Like I didn't look at it like that.
Yeah, no, that's a cat that actually said he texted him and it worked.
The text them, yeah, I got you. Yeah, I'm focused. I just read it.
925 though. Obviously, me being a recruiter, knowing that's a California number. That's up in the Northern California. That's like it's like fucking like I want to say that's like Vallejo, Modesto, San Jose-ish. So,
well, Paris said we should call the number right now live on the show.
I'm not a troll content creator though. That's to see. I'll report on the
you're
content.
Just like Jack Doherty though. Like
I could never do that. I could never do that. I could never do that bitch shit. I couldn't do it. I couldn't call him.
You're in the same world as that though.
I'm not calling that motherfucking weirdo fuck.
You're like in the same world though.
Not really. But it is what it is.
You're in the same world as that.
Huh?
What we got next, baby? Highlight what's on the rundown. I don't know what's on the rundown. Oh, here we go. Thank you. Let's move on, man. 4-star recruit Trey Taylor.
Bitch made motherfucker. Go ahead,
just hit Illinois with the all-time disrespectful
it's not all-time.
All-time disrespectful pump fake. Take a listen.
It's not a pump fake.
I like to make my decision that I've been waiting for since I was in 7th grade when I got my first offer. I'm going to stay home and go to Illinois.
Wow, if only you could see my face in studio.
That's why I hate white moms.
This is
What?
This was super corny. Like this is beyond corny. This is BC. This is beyond corny. And I blame the parents and the family members all surrounding them who decided to be a part of this and not check their son, their nephew, their brother, their uncle, whoever his connection is. But hey, bro, this ain't it. This is disrespectful. And it's not funny. It wasn't even executed at a high level. Even if you're gonna go that route, they ain't even do it well. The audio sucks. You didn't hear anything really. The setup sucked. He didn't even wear the hat long enough to add any sort of suspense. The whole thing was just shitty. He shouldn't have did it in the first place. Number one. Number two, the family should have been like, nah, son, that's not how we do it. We respect those teams that gave us a scholarship because we understand that it's a limited number that each program gets, and it's a privilege and an honor for them to even receive that, regardless if you go to that school or not. I got one scholarship, homie. Thank God for that. I thank Ball State for the rest of my life for that. And any other offer that I would have got, I would have been the same amount of gratitude. So that should have been there. But then last but not least, if you want to be an asshole and do what you did, at least do it good. It wasn't even good. I couldn't even hear what you said, young man. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, I blame him, but he's the kid in the room. I blame the adults more than him, way more, because there should have been an OG in there who should have been like, nah, bro. I said, come on. No, we're not doing that. We're not doing that. You want to do something fun and creative? That's cool. Find a way to do that in a way that's still respectful to the other schools. All this, you ain't even that good, young man. You ain't even did nothing yet. Let's go see what you do at the next level. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Jason.
I'm glad, man. I'm glad you're on that. I'm glad you didn't defend that. Fuck.
I don't know why you even said that. Like, why you even leading with that? I don't defend everything.
But y'all want us to respect this fucking generation. Y'all want us to respect these bitch-ass motherfuckers. The parents are straight bitches. They actually allowed this to happen, as you just said, obviously in a much better and nicer way. This is so this is why you need JUCO. This is the kid I need to take to JUCO right here. This is the kid I need to put in football jail with me. And everybody on in that screen are absolute jokes. They're fucking jokes, homie.
That's his coach on the far right, I think.
The guy on the right's laughing.
That's his coach, ain't it?
These motherfuckers clowning and shit. I don't know who they are, homie. I don't give a fuck. This is what's wrong with these kids, homie. These motherfuckers sitting around them. Like, they think that shit's cool. If I'm Billima and I call Rule up and say, hey, dog, listen, I'm going to turn him down, and then he's going to come to you and turn him down too. The men need to start making an example of these bitch-ass kids. And that's just the fucking truth of the matter. Billima should not take them. I mean, Rule should hit up Billima. Sorry, I said it wrong.
Yep.
And say, hey, you know what? I'm not taking him. And then he's going to come back to you and say, fuck you. Like, that's what needs to happen, homie. Like, that's the truth. And this is the problem overall. This is the big picture of the problem. This kid is going to transfer right now. This is crazy stats, Smitty. The average kid from high school that enters college football on a football scholarship will transfer 3 times. I said it wrong. I said it right, but let me give you the percentage on that.
Do it again.
What do you think the percentage is that a kid now will transfer 3 times or more once he leaves high school and enters the Division I scholarship world? What's the percentage that a kid will transfer 3 times or more?
20, 25?
60. Homie, 60% you're going to end up transferring.
That's crazy.
Everybody out there needs to have this video in their office and say, nobody takes this kid when he ends up entering the portal. Nobody. Don't take this motherfucker. Like, that's the problem, homie. It's a fucking insane number that we're allowing. You either coach it or allow it, homie. Like, I'm just trying to figure out. This is a societal issue. It ain't no longer sports related, homie. This is what these kids are doing every single fucking day out here. Not only that, doing that, but, you know, robbing Doherty and all the dumb shit we're seeing, homie. Robbing fucking 7-Eleven. And this is the shit, homie. You think you're in this? Not? It directly correlates to the parents at the house. And in this case, the coach that I've been saying for a long time. High school coaches are failing kids at the all-time high.
Man.
High school coaches. The 7-on-7 world. All the shit that comes with 7-on-7. Not chasing down an interception when you throw it. Not taking a drop from the quarterback position. I can break down the reason why quarterbacks are failing. It starts at 7-on-7. And it starts with the trainers. And then it goes to the next level of player. And then we talk about the team overall and how soft we are because of 7-on-7. And then we get to the high school coach who also is having to battle the 7-on-7 coach. And a coaching ideology war is happening Well, my 7-on-7 coach told me, coach, that I should take 3 in a hitch and a slide. And then the high school coach is like, well, nah, we don't do that in our system. So now you see what I'm saying? You got 2 issues going on here. That's what's going on all over America. And now you have 7-on-7 that used to be your team only. Like Warren Central would go play 7-on-7 against fucking whoever, in high school, but it was the high school coach coaching his 7-on-7 team in a high school tournament to learn their passing scheme.
Right.
Now it's 7-on-7 club teams who obviously my girl runs the biggest one in the country.
Yep, shout out to her.
But it's ran by a bunch of fucking street agents for money. It's no longer the high school coach coaching the kid in the 7-on-7 scheme to learn their offense. So that's the difference in this whole thing. So, like, it's so bad, homie. This is all comes down to this right here. Because, listen, back in the day when you played for the coach of the team in 7-on-7, even though you guys may not understand what I'm saying, this is what happens when you move around and you go from 7-on-7 club team and you play for 4 and 5 different ones in the city that you're in. It's real easy to take this hat off, homie, and throw on this hat, homie.
Basically, what you're saying is like this stuff is starting at a young age and at every level and every piece of their life, whether it's 7-on-7, whether it's high school football, whether it's middle school, whether it's actual high school. Every level, they're not committing to anything at any point in their life. So by the time they get to college or the NFL or the NBA, they've literally been transferring and moving around their entire life. Every time something gets hard, every time something gets tough, every time there's any sort of like adversity at all in their lives, they leave. So now when they're done playing sports and they're in the real world and their boss says something that they don't like or they disagree with, now they're quitting and they're job hopping. And their resume says, I worked at this job from May 2025 to July 2025. I worked at this job from August 2025 to September 2025. And they just hop around and it's messing up. Yeah, it's causing issues in society. I get what you're saying.
And that's the problem, man. It is deep. That's what these cats don't grasp. It's coaching or allowing it. Yep. See, before, what's happening right now is the coach in America is scared to lose the kid to school B. So he'll kiss his ass and suck his dicks and whisper sweet nothings to this kid and tell him everything that he's not and lie to him to keep him there so he doesn't go to the other school. And really, in theory, we're setting them up for failure because we're lying to these kids just to get them to play. What happens is you lose your integrity, though, doing so. You lose your integrity because when the kid misses practice or the kid misses class and you still play him or start him over the kids that do everything right, you're setting a horrible example for everybody as a leader. And then that translates. And just imagine that happening one time and then times 6,500 high schools in America that play 11-man football. You times it by 6,500. You put 80 kids on a team in general. Do the math. It's over 1 million kids. Now you understand why it's permeating throughout the whole entire country. This is what is happening on a macro scale. We're scared to lose kids. We're scared to teach kids. We're scared to mentor kids. We're scared to coach kids. And now what's happening is the coach is fired more than ever because he's losing because he loses the kid because he's lost the integrity of the team because Johnny transferred and went to Mount Carmel. And now Warren Central's like, oh, fuck. Now I got to go try to get the next best thing. So guess what we got to do is a social media fucking display of fucking ridiculous antics to change hats and fucking disrespect a 4-year school that offered us. And now the D1 coach needs to gather this thing back, man. Some sort of way to pull back the reins and say, all right, now, guess what? You do that type of shit right there, you'll never transfer to my school. And if 132 of y'all, which is how many D1 football teams are in America, do it, you won't have it. The kid won't do no dumb shit like this that just slaps everybody in the face. These motherfucking kids are so entitled, homie. They act like these fucking scholarships fall off trees.
Yep.
These fucking entitled kids act like they fucking fall off trees, that they are okay when they leave fucking... Dog, this shit's going to be like this, homie. Even if you sorry motherfuckers play 7 and 8 years in college like they do now, it's still 7 or 8 years goes like this. And you'll be fucking working at Walmart, homie, in fucking 7 years, and you'll wonder why. That's the problem with these motherfuckers. Nobody wants to tell them the truth. That's why guys like myself need to be coaching. But guess what? The pussies of America won't ever allow that. And I just don't want to do it anymore either. So it's a fucked up situation. These kids are being led down, homie. They're being lied to.
I think you hit the nail around the head, homie. I couldn't say that any better than what you just said it.
You did say better. You didn't cuss.
That don't mean it's better, though.
Thank you. Thank you. I just put it forward. Thank you.
It always means it's better.
Thank you.
Cussing ain't necessarily bad. It's like what you saying. You know what I'm saying? So that was actually
great. I think cussing's great. I think cussing actually is like what we are. Like that's what it really is. I don't trust anyone that doesn't cuss. I'm gonna be honest.
Really?
Yeah, especially like pastors.
I had a DB coach, Coach Dixon, who didn't cuss, but he's legit.
Oh yeah, I had a guy that didn't cuss either.
Daryl Dixon,
found out he was the biggest pedo and biggest criminal. Yeah,
it's
crazy. Yeah, it's crazy.
The biggest pedo.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Well,
It's not like, I actually like girls that cuss. I never cussed around my mom. I had respect, so I never cussed around my mom until I got older. And then, but I like Paris said it's not ladylike, but I love it because she probably likes it when the guys like saying stuff. But like Lucy, I know Lucy loves it. Like Lucy, like you should look good, and I take this, and then
Where's your hand do right there when you was impersonating
Shannon Sharp?
Okay.
So what I'm saying is like
women like a masculine man. Matter of fact, the girls were having a chat in the Discord. I was in Discord yesterday just trying to catch up over the last couple of weeks, and they were having a conversation about like who would smash who. Like the guys were saying which of the girls in the chat they would smash, and the girls were saying which guys they would smash on the show. And I'm not gonna call the girl out, but one of the girls of our show said the one person that they would smash would be you because of your energy and like your demeanor and like
wait, time out.
It's like alpha energy is what the girl
say it over again.
So in our Discord, I went in there last night.
I didn't catch that part. Okay.
I went to the Discord to catch up on to see what's been going on, and they were having a chat about who would smash who, and
between who?
Just anybody. So any members or people on our actual show. So the guys were like saying like I smash Jazzy, I smash Lucy, all doing all that, and then some of the girls responded. I'm not going to call this girl out, but one of the girls said the one person that she would smash would be JB because of just your energy. It's like an alpha energy. So to your point, as far as like cussing and grabbing, there's a lot of women who likes to feel like they're protected and feel like the man they're with is
like
masculine and tough,
the woman.
So yeah.
Yeah, but you want them to coach football. But yeah, I get it. I mean, that's what they do. That's what women are supposed to want. That's what they are. Like men are hunters by trade. That's what we do. I don't remember the woman going out and bringing back the lion to eat. I remember the man going out and get the lion.
There is you might want to check that. There is an animal where the woman actually goes out and do that though, and the man chills like a king. Is it the lion?
We're gonna bring out one person.
No, that might be the lion. The
lion what? The lion what?
I don't listen. I'm not like JB. I didn't study animals for a year, so I'm not trying to act like I'm an expert. But if my brain is correct, there is an animal. I'm pretty sure where a woman go out there and go hunt, and the king sit back like a king and wait till you bring it back home to him. I just can't think. Yeah, is it the lion, Blue?
We're talking about humans right now. I don't know what you're talking about.
We're talking about animals right now.
But we're talking about humans.
Somebody told me I was right.
I said men coach football for a reason because we're hunters and we go out and get the food and shit like that.
Thank you, Sugar on the Rim. It's a lion. Okay, I know I wasn't tripping. Thank you. Female lions go hunting. Thank you so much. I knew I wasn't tripping. All right. I love when I'm right. Man, I love when I'm right.
I don't know how you flip that from a man being a masculine coaching football.
You said something like, name one time where the man isn't the hunter and this, that, and the third.
Man. I didn't know an animal is a man.
The lioness is the hunter. Thank you, OG Vincent. I knew I wasn't lying. All right, let's keep this thing rolling, though, homie.
You compared a lion
Nick
to a
Saban,
human.
you brought up lions. Rewind it. Factor check. Factor cap. Nick Saban.
I said the man goes out and kills the lion, homie. God damn.
Rewind it. Go factor cap it.
I know what I said. Haley, please tell him I said the man goes out, brings the lion home. Brings the lion home, homie. You know what happens with the lioness? The lioness gets jumped by all the hyenas. Guess who saves the day?
Of course, but the lioness is the one who's doing the hunting.
not, because it's a setup, homie.
X63 Kane, A63 Kane.
Can I break down? Can I break this down? What's undefeated? Pussy.
Cat.
Okay, so cat, right? So the female cat went out to attract what? It's a setup, homie. The man, again, the king lion knows what he's doing. He's sending out the pussy because it's undefeated to get snatched up so he can jump out and kill you. Come on, macro, homie. God, I gotta teach every day on this. I gotta teach every day. I gotta teach every day on this show.
The lioness is actually killing animals and dragging their
rabbits.
dragging them back,
rabbits, zebra,
dragging them back to the kingdom.
Rabbits, zebra, like shit that don't bite back.
The hunting, they're doing the hunting. I don't know what you want me to say.
The males want it, homie. The males allow it.
Okay, cool. I'm not arguing on it. I'm just telling you. Listen, I'm right. You're wrong. That's what it is. Coach Nick Saban introduces President Donald Trump at Alabama's graduation. There's a video. Let's check it out.
Why do you talk so fast about it and act like you're not
Here's
interested?
President Trump. I have to tell you a story. You know, you all know that we win a national championship, we get to go to the White House, and it's a great experience for our players and each and every year. When we won in 2017, President Trump was there in 2018, very gracious host, and he's the first president that invited us to come in the Oval Office. So I take the three captains in the Oval Office, and the president's really nice to everybody, and he's got this very big, good-looking, auspicious box on his desk that has a red button on top. And one of the players said, "Is that what you launch the missiles with?" And he said, "Well, push it and find out." Player said, "No, I don't want to do that." He said, "Oh, go ahead, push it, see what happens, find out." So Rashawn Evans finally got the guts up, went over, pushed the red button. Some lady came in with a Coke on a tray.
That's a funny story.
That's a hilarious story, low-key.
Hey, Nick Saban's one of the best storytellers, by the way. I've heard him speak in person many times. He's a great storyteller.
Great leader of men, great storyteller. It's all about pace, tone, delivery.
Trumper.
He does all that way better than you when it comes to that.
Hold on.
Way better than you.
Hold on, homie.
Much better than you. Alex Sands, this show's straight up getting boring. He says getting boring, which means it wasn't boring. Going to cancel my membership. So he said it used to be fun. He said now it's boring. Break that down.
How
do you feel? I'll ask that question. How do you feel about him canceling his membership and saying the show's boring?
Let me throw it back at you.
Okay.
You gonna lose sleep tonight?
You know what? That's a good question, but let me flip it back to you though. Are you still gonna go on your yacht knowing that this guy just canceled his membership?
But again, let me flip it back to you, homie. Are you going to come to the yacht with all the bitches and all the drink and all the food and the smoked ribs and all the stuff I'm going to cook in the BMW that I'm going to drive over to the yacht that's $120,000 and then go 120 miles an hour and then get on the $200,000 yacht and then come back to the $1 million house? Are you going to trip and then go walk in that $6 million house I showed you the other day? Are you going to trip on that?
That's a great question, but like, I kind of want to like Hail Mary it back to you and say this, like the fact that he's going to cancel the membership and he thinks the show was boring and he thinks the show was weak, will that change the thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars that's going into your pockets, into your account every single month from this show, from your number one, New York Times bestseller, from your other show, Unpaved, from all the smoke, from all the merch, from all the TV series and the productions that you do, from just all the hustles and selling pit bulls that you do on the side, from like what will him canceling his one membership of a few dollars, will that make you have to remove the Miss fan from the back of your house that you have? Like, will that have any impact on any of that?
I'd be remiss if I didn't throw it back at you with the question that, is it going to stop you from covering Paul Pierce and Michael Irvin and Keyshawn? And is it going to stop you from doing all the things that you do and going to the Pump Brothers event in August in the summer is it going to stop you from doing those things and allowing you to make extra side hustle money as well from the show that actually millions of people watch?
Damn, that's a hell of a question, man. That's a hell of a question. And the thing is, like, I really want to answer that, but just my last little, I guess, question for you before I answer that is, do you really give a fuck about this dude in this chat?
No, I don't give a fuck at all about him. Actually, we could block him right now.
Let's do it right now, Bradley.
Oh, I got these, dummy.
McCaffrey, homie. We cool with the McCaffreys.
I got these.
The whole family's in the back. What you talking about, homie? Ain't worry about what you talking about.
They look like a Western, like a Western movie.
Yeah, like what's that old school popular white dude who's super old, but he's in all the Western.
Hey, Joe just covered up 5 months of his membership.
Let me see. Last membership for that Alex guy, bounce him.
5 months worth right there.
Thank you, Joe. You're a real one, homie.
It's Free Game Friday, by the way. Everybody drop some chat money.
It's C-Note Friday. We ain't seen no C-Notes today. That's crazy.
Yeah, no doubt.
We usually see at least one C-Note. That's crazy. Who's gonna be the first one? It's usually our homie. Who's our homie name that always send a C-Notes?
Bundy.
Bundy's a bad boy. I don't know what Bundy does like in his life, but he got cheddar. Shout out to Mike Bundy, man.
Bundy a hustler.
He a real hustler though, yeah, for real.
Yeah,
shout out to Bundy. He'll probably be the first one again. I don't think everybody else be too scared to like compete with him. You know?
Hey, it's the first of the month though.
Oh yeah, I do got. Thank you for the reminder.
Yeah, sorry.
I pay my rent today.
Yeah, I figured that. You late, BPS.
Well, you get 3-day buffer. And then my thing, my guys, it's a little old school. We don't have the online portal system. So I gotta go get a little cashier's check and then put it in the envelope, drop it off down the street.
Damn, I didn't pay online, homie.
Yeah, so I know. I usually my whole life has been online, but this one spot he don't have it set up like that yet. So damn, oh man, I gotta go to Chase. Damn.
Break this cat down real quick.
Mr. Wright, okay. I can't because he has a Terry Crews animation. He ain't got no real picture. Everybody's scared to put their real face on there. They soft. They say stuff, but they don't put their picture on there.
Shout out IE's finest, Stephen Bruner.
Steven Broner, man.
Popping in the house. Tomorrow we're gonna have a poker party at the crib, Smitty. I'm gonna smoke, man. I ain't smoked any meat in so long. Nah, so I'm gonna smoke some meat, man. I don't know what I'm gonna do. Something nice. I'm gonna do something. I don't know. I haven't smoked in months since football season ended. And
make you a prime rib, homie.
Yeah, I'm gonna do something, man. I'm gonna do something. Next week, though, we're gonna get into football. I'm gonna start breaking down the top 10 quarterbacks, in my opinion. I want to dive into also the top quarterbacks drafted on who's going to be good, who's going to be bad. And then we'll do a full deep dive into that. And then obviously talk about the MVP of the league. We'll predict our MVPs. We'll predict all that stuff. Daniel Dimes, all that type of stuff. So we'll get into all that and more next week. But just want to break that down, Smitty, real quick. But I shout out to Nick Saban for breaking that down. I want to ask you something, though. How embarrassing is Bill Belichick becoming?
What happened?
Just the whole thing. His own son, wife, blasted the broad.
No, she didn't.
Belichick's own son, wife.
No, she didn't. No way.
Called out the broad.
No way.
And did you see the latest news on who the broad used to fuck with?
What you talking about?
That's their old man, homie.
No. For the audio listeners, Bill Belichick's 24-year-old girlfriend, Jordan Hudson, previously dated 64-year-old Josh Zuckerman. He spoke out defending her. She is wise beyond her years. More than any 20-some I've ever met in my entire life.
That's
the
weird.
narrative about her character is not fair to her. So basically, he's saying that when he says she is wise beyond her years, macro chat, think macro. What is he saying when he says she is wise beyond her years? Wise is the brain. Brain is the inside the head. Come on, y'all. Y'all not thinking macro, homie. Jamie still don't get it.
What was this?
Huh?
I saw you do something like this.
That now we're just breaking it down. I'm trying to understand. When he says she's wise beyond her years,
weird hand.
Wisdom comes from the brain. The brain is inside the skull, which is inside the head.
Yeah, see, I'm way deeper in macro than that.
Go ahead. What you thinking?
She is wise beyond her years more than any 20-something I've ever met. It's the problem, homie. Stop blaming this girl. People. This weirdo fuck, Mark Zuckerberg's dad, came out here and is talking about fucking 20-year-olds, and no one's mentioned that one time. No one's mentioned the Shannon Sharps of the world, the Belichicks of the world, and this Zuckerberg's pops of the world. Really? We're not going to talk about these weirdo fucks dating 20-year-olds. Because it takes two last time I checked. A 20-year-old can approach me all she wants. She could come and bring me Starbucks and all the fucking new shit. She could bring me all these little flavorful treats and everything. And I can say, get the fuck out of here, you little girl. And I don't understand why the old boys don't get it. Why aren't we calling out these men, homie, that are fucking straight up groomers? I'm just being honest, homie. Why aren't we talking about this motherfucker? He don't fuck with nothing but 20-year-olds is what I took from him.
Right.
He got a whole slew of 20-year-olds. My daughter's is in the 20s. Your sister's not even 20 yet. So that means she's already, these young girls this motherfucking weirdos are already looking at these young girls like, oh, there you go. So what is it? 18 is your cutoff, homie? Like, get the fuck out of here, man. That's just nasty. This shit is weird vibes, homie. I'm going to be honest. This shit is weird. And now Charles Barkley's even hit the press. Charles Barkley's good friends with Belichick, and they even said, I'm very concerned. I want to actually call my good friend and talk to him. I want to talk to him about what's going on. Charles Barkley said it about Bill Belichick. Bill Belichick has made North Carolina a topic of discussion in college football for all the wrong reasons. It's not even about Belichick being the GOAT of football anymore on the gridiron. It's about Belichick being the GOAT amongst his peers, amongst his teammates' peers. His teammates' age peers is now his girlfriend. Something is weird with it, homie. It's a huge distraction. At the end of the day, it'll be a huge distraction for North Carolina. And I'm wondering when we're going to start hearing about North Carolina, a college institution, Smitty, who used to not condone acts like this. Like, I would be fired if I walked into my office and had a girl of her age and I'm coaching men her age and I bring her in. It would literally go down as like a conduct detrimental to the team contract violation. It would be a moral clause violation amongst the university. And I get legality-wise, legal, I get it. She's of age. Okay, fine. The moral side of a college institution, there's a reason why, Smitty, colleges say no alcohol or tobacco all over the campus, right? All over the campus.
Everywhere.
That's a moral clause. Are those two things illegal? No. They're not illegal, right? You can go to a bar and drink. Of age, you can go smoke a cigar, dip. You can buy dip at the gas station. So, no, they're not illegal. But why do the colleges say don't have them on campus? Because they're a higher education, level of institution of education. That's what they say. And we have a moral compass. It's supposed to be a high moral clause, right? But then when it comes to Bill Belichick bringing a 23, 24-year-old broad around, it's okay. I'm just telling you, homie, the world is upside down. I don't get it. I don't understand it. I'm really trying to figure it out. And then obviously she has a hit track record of it.
I told you in the jump, she's probably into older men who got power. She probably likes that look. Like I said, I mean, listen, I get to each his own. I've always told y'all, like, when I was the younger guy, I was the guy who, like, had the dreams of like smashing your teacher and liking the older women and mature women. But when I say older and mature, it wasn't it wasn't no 60, 70-year-olds. It wasn't nothing like that. It was just like, okay, I'm in my 20s. They're in their early 40s or late 30s or something like that. But this is a little crazy. But here's my question. Beyond all this is her ex-boyfriend. She's been with Belichick, if I'm not mistaken, for like 3 years. She's 24 now. So when was she with?
He was 70 and she was 20.
No. Because it
Bill,
says
Bill's 73 right now. Bill's 73. He was 70. She was 20.
No, I'm not talking about Belichick. I'm sorry. I'm talking about her ex, Josh Zuckerman. How old was she when she was dating him?
Well,
she has to be 18.
That's why I said, is
While
this
guy was like 59 or something.
That's why I said, is his hard cutoff 18? Because no way. Yeah. She had to be 18 or younger, homie. That's what I said earlier.
She had to. There's no way to, you know what I'm saying? Because if she's been unless she was cheating on Bill or something, I don't. I'm just saying, if she's been with Bill since she was 20 or 21, and this is her ex, I mean, at most she was 19.
That's what I said. You didn't hear me earlier. Not your fault, but that's what I meant. That's what I meant. Like,
no, I heard you, but I said it a little better.
Yeah, you said it like, But this guy obviously had to be at the illegal cutoff.
Yeah, he's weird. Look at his face too.
Oh, homie, he's a weirdo. Fuck, he's a billionaire.
Is he?
I don't know, but I'm just saying. I'm just judging the face. He's like a billionaire. He's on a yacht. He's got a big ass yacht. He got her that way. He smashed for a while. And then now all of a sudden he wants to get back in the limelight to get a new young girl. So he comes out with this. So, you know what I mean?
Yeah, whatever you do, man, do not marry this woman.
Take a look at this, though. I want to take a look at this.
What's it? Is this what?
Fuck.
Was this Shorty and her mother? Is it Jordan Hudson? It is Jordan. She looks young. Okay, a younger picture. Who's this next to her? Her teacher?
It's her mom.
Okay, I mean, what's the problem? I ain't gonna talk about my mama now. I ain't gonna. Yeah, that's one rule we learned. We don't talk about nobody's mamas. We don't do that. I don't know if she's still alive. I don't know. I don't do no mama talk. So I'm gonna let you have it.
Fuck. Fucking Bill, homie. You lost, homie.
What's the issue?
Bill, this is one of your biggest losses, man. It ain't a Super Bowl. It ain't fucking losing Tom Brady. This is your biggest loss, homie. Smitty, we haven't done this in a while, but I have to. Hey, please bow your heads. Dear baby Jesus, we come together today to pray for the great legendary football savant and Bill Belichick as he's hit a wall, Lord. He's hit a wall of mass proportions. He is in a rut. He's sinking in quicksand, Lord. We got to get him out. We got to pull him out. Whether it's Shannon Sharp coming to his rescue or Charles Barkley. Shannon's been there, done that, so he understands it and gets it. He can go out and tell him, hey, Bill, you got me by about 15 years. Get out now while you can. I know the poo-poos and the woo-woo and the woo-woo is good, but you got to get out of there. Got to get out of there. I know it's wet. I know the head is gawk style, but you got to get out of there. Jesus, please help this man understand that by the looks of her mother, he will be the biggest loser. It isn't the Super Bowl. It isn't losing Tom Brady. It's losing this battle right here. Lord, you taught me at a very young age, Lord, don't fuck with a girl whose mama looks like hammered dog shit. The mama's 5'4", 320 with buck teeth. There's no way this girl ends up being a dime piece. This girl is on her way to being a 3 technique. Look at the mother. Bill, you're losing an uphill battle. Coach, sir, man, get out now. The mother's telling you what this girl's going to look like. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. Smitty, listen, man. What happened? I had my eyes shut the whole time because I really do pray. Let me break this down. I was taught at a very young age, do not fuck with a broad whose mama doesn't look good. Or that can I actually go and say, you know what? How are you going to look? Let me see your mama. And her mama, show me that picture one more time. this might be his biggest loss, homie. I'm be honest, homie. You got to be real, Smitty. I mean, there's no way, homie. There's no way. Come on, man. Fuck. I mean, she got rat teeth, homie. That tells you something's coming down the pipe for the girl, the young girl that looks good now and all that shit right now. At the end of the day, homie, the mama is the DNA translator. Yes, Darnell.
Jason, you are aware that Bill Belichick is 76 years old, correct?
I don't know. 73, ain't he?
So he's not worried about the long play. It's kind of like Pete Carroll with the Raiders.
Great point.
He's trying to win right now in 3 years.
Great point. But
Belichick's trying to win right now. He's not worried about what
point. I get where you're coming from. I get where you're coming from. But listen, the macro again. Let me out macro you.
You can't.
Bill goes away and dies in 20 years. At the bottom of this main story of his is going to be that he fucked with this broad. And in 20 years, this broad is going to look like that broad. And it's going to be a huge black eye on Bill Belichick's career as to what he had at 73, a baddie, and turned into Splinter. And that's what's going to happen, homie.
But nobody does that, homie. Think about the chicks that you used to smack. A lot of them are still in the hood. Some of them off crack and dope.
Hood rats.
All types of just trashy looking chicks still out there eating hot Cheetos, Kool-Aid stained fingers.
Love hood rat. I love hood rat.
Pickles and they look horrible right now. So like you can't do that, homie. That's just part of life. That's right. Nobody gonna do that. They're gonna look at Bill Belichick as the GOAT. Right now, he's just trying to have a little fun. She got him hypnotized right now. That pussy got him hypnotized, and he's just having fun. He ain't had this type of much fun in this. It's his college. He's been so focused on winning and dealing with the Boston media and Deflategate and all these gates. And now he's like, man, fuck it. I'm in college. I'm about to have fun. I'm about to give me a little young tang. She do whatever I say when I say it behind closed doors. In front of the camera, I like it. I make it seem like she's running things just so the media and the press can leave me alone. Everything can run through her. And if behind closed door, I give her money. She goes shopping and she go mopping for me whenever I need her to.
Hold on. This fact or cap?
Chris says, I think it is important to know that her mom manages a sex shop. Chris, is that call in right now, Chris? Is that a fact or is that cap? Call in, Chris. No excuses. It's been
Bailey. Is that fact or cap, Bailey?
He's looking it up right now. Hold on,
homie. Hold on.
No way.
This makes sense now. It makes more sense. If this is true,
Chris said fact. Hold on, Chris.
This is true.
Chris, call in for real, Chris.
Lucy said fact. Lucy said it's fact, homie.
Chris said it's fact.
Everybody's saying it's fact. Everybody's saying it's fact.
They getting freaky in the Belichick household, homie. What they doing in the Belichick? It says, this is the Barstool Sports. Impressively, Jordan Hudson, whose mom owns a sex toy shop, has amassed a $9 million real estate portfolio to date Belichick. That ain't the clown there. Her mama owns a sex shop. I bet Belichick is going there and get whatever you want for free. Just go grab it, whatever toy, whatever vibrators, whatever. They get nasty in this house. That's why he hypnotized, homie.
We gotta save Bill, homie. Gotta save Bill, man. Gotta save Bill, homie. Gotta save Bill. It makes sense now. What she looks. She is the epitome of a brothel. Like. What do they call that shit?
I can see her in like a leather, like 2-piece with a, you know what I mean? I can see her doing that. BDSM. That's a shame. Hey, man, Belichick do his thing. He's 80 years old almost. I mean, who am I to judge Belichick, I guess?
His age keep going up.
I mean, he's getting older by an hour. So, but we'll dive into more of that here in a minute, man. I know you stressed out about it, but it's time here, man. We got our special guest. My homie, my guy, man, NFL legend, one of the fastest 40s of all time, man. 8-year NFL vet, DB coach at Valpo, my hood, the one and only, man, Stanford Routt, man. What's going on, my guy?
Dude, what's going on, man?
Long time. How you doing?
Pretty good. Coach, nice to meet you, man. Happy
You
to
too,
be
brother.
on
You
with you.
too. Yeah, man. I'm glad you came on, man. I appreciate it. Man, what's going on with Bill Belichick, man?
Ah, man, your guess is as good as mine. I definitely been reading everything that's been coming out this week, and it like Colin Coward says, like it definitely seems like it's a like obviously it's a mutually beneficial type of union between the both of them, to say the least.
Let me ask you something. Can you
union? I like that word.
Who the head coach at Valpo now? Who's your boss?
Oh, Andy Waddle.
Is there any way in the world he walks in there with a young girl and doesn't face backlash administratively? That's the point I'm making. Morale clause wise, like there's no way I could walk into my office with a young girl coaching these kids and not get called into the office by my president. That's the part that I don't think no one's talking about. Like, I get your Bill Belichick, and I don't care. Everyone's different for a reason. He walks in there with his handful of rings and all that stuff. I just don't see how this isn't being brought up. Listen, I don't care. Each his own, but I got a daughter and shit. It'd be weird to me. Bill Belichick walks in my house and courts my 22, 3, 4-year-old daughter. We got a problem. I don't care who you are. But I'm just trying to figure out, like, there's no way, right? No way.
I mean,
you don't got
you already hit it right on the head. Like, it's Bill Belichick. So, like, you got to remember at the same time how he caught UNC kind of in a position where they were desperate. Obviously, Mac Brown got let go. So they're looking for the next person that, okay, who can go ahead and bring this organization some stability, who can also go ahead and give us some name appeal, things like that. And I mean, who's got a bigger name or a bigger resume than Bill Belichick, actually being one of the guys who coached the GOAT within Tom Brady, all the Super Bowls. So just off of that alone, when you look at everything from the contract where he's getting $10 million a year, Bill Belichick has always been an NFL guy. He's never been a college guy. So just off of that alone, and then he can easily go ahead and leave. And I think his buyout is, I forget how much, but he's able to leave fairly quickly. And you got to also remember the D coordinator, his son, is now the head coach in waiting. To be able to go ahead and have all of that stipulated within the contract, it just goes to show exactly who had the leverage in that situation. And as far as everything with him going with Jordan Hudson and all of that, I think that probably, the brass at UNC, the board of regents and the president and all of them, they probably don't exactly applaud it, but he's not doing anything illegal. He's not doing anything wrong from that perspective. So it's one of those things that they probably just look at and go, okay, I'm going to go ahead and grit my teeth, just go ahead and kind of, turn the other cheek, look the other way. But I don't think it's something that they're exactly applauding behind closed doors. But it just goes to show that's how desperate that they were to get Bill Belichick. So he's been with Jordan for last couple of years or something like that. So they knew all this going in when they signed him. They knew that he had a significant other that was vastly younger than him. They just wanted to go ahead and accept it because of what the upside can be if this Bill Belichick comes in fully motivated based off everything he did with the New England Patriots.
Yeah, that was my whole point. I know it's not illegal, and I was telling Smitty that earlier. I was like, but morale-wise and like,
morale-wise, you're spot on. You're spot on.
Contractually at a university, like there used to be things in there that were like, hey, even though it's not illegal, you do something like this that gives us, the college, a bad look or a black eye, you could be fired for cause. And that's just what it is. It's not illegal, or it doesn't have the shit to do with legal. You're not going to jail. I'm just saying, bottom line is, though, it's a bad look. But anyway, it is what it is. Appreciate you popping in on us, man.
No problem.
Give me your take real quick on the Raiders, man. Pete Carroll going there, your former team. He's got one of my former players is there, Lonnie Johnson, big 6'4" corner safety.
Yeah, I know you're talking about.
Jack, another former player, was there. He let him go. I think he just got scooped up by the Chiefs. Where are you at with the Raiders, the offseason, what they did in the draft, etc.? What's your outlook on what they're going to be?
Yeah, I like a lot of what they did this past offseason. Obviously trading for Geno, then drafting Ashton Genty, 6th pick overall just a week ago. I definitely think they need to add more onto the edges as far as like the receivers go, probably even in the back end. I think they're still depleted when it comes to playmakers back there, but definitely like the direction that they're going. We all know Pete Carroll, he likes to build through the trenches. He likes to have that good O-line, D-line, the run game, all of that. But they're not there yet. you could still make the argument that they're the fourth best team in the AFC West, but I like the trajectory. I like the direction that it looks like everything is going.
No, for sure, man. And JB always makes a point that, Pete Carroll, he's older, right, at this point in his career. So, like, he has to be thinking from a mindset of, like, I'm trying to win, like, now. And again, maybe this next season isn't the season, but it feels like he's trying to bring this thing together as quick as possible, though. Just, and I do feel like, to your point, right now we could probably make the argument that they are last place, but I mean, we'll see, man. I mean, we know Pete Carroll's a bad boy. We know his history. We know what Geno has done. We know how talented Ashton Genty is, man. I can see a world where the next 2 years, though, things could shake in that division potentially.
Yeah, they definitely could. It's just going to matter of, like, coming down to simple plays as far as in the late parts of the game, obviously coaching, play calling, things like that. And it's so crazy because when you look at the Chiefs, the Broncos, the Chargers, and the Raiders, you could easily be second place in the division, but like be one game away from being fourth place in the division. I think that as far as the Chiefs go, everybody knows that they got blasted by the Eagles in the Super Bowl, but until another team from the AFC represents the AFC in the Super Bowl, I would still go ahead and call them the top team to beat within the AFC, and especially within the AFC West. The Broncos, they got Bo Nix, got a Sean Payton, they're coming. You got now Jim Harbaugh out there in LA with the Justin Herbert. Hopefully he'll get over his playoff woes that he seemed to had over the last couple of years. So it's definitely going to be a tough hill to climb for the Raiders. I think it's possible, but when you think about it, Pete Carroll, you can make the argument that he's the fourth best coach in that division. And Pete Carroll is a national champion. He's a Super Bowl champion. So it's definitely a lot of star power on the quarterback side and the head coaching side within that division.
Let me ask you this real quick, JB. So obviously, you play DB, you understand the position, all the ins and outs. We got a guy that the Jaguars, traded up for, and Travis Hunter, who really wants the opportunity to go out here and play both sides, DB and wide out. Can you explain at the NFL level how difficult that could potentially be? I don't know if they're going to give him a chance to do it or not, or if it's going to be like a majority at wide out, a few reps at DB, or vice versa. But like, you played it at that level. Yeah. How, like, is it impossible for him to really do this?
I think the better question would be, to what degree are you asking, can he do this? Now, if you're asking, can he go out there and play mainly offense and about 10 to 15 snaps on defense or something like that, or vice versa, then yeah, I think that he could possibly do that, because it's been guys. I mean, we see Dion, you did that back in the 90s. Obviously, he played primarily DB, but he played a little offense here and there. Charles Woodson the same way. I believe Champ Bailey to a certain degree back when he was with the Washington, then Redskins, and a few other guys. But if you're asking as far as him playing 120 snaps a game, offense and defense, literally out there every play. So you're out there running routes, boom, 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 boom. All of a sudden, it's fourth down. Punt team comes on. They punt the ball. And instead of the offense leaving the field, going to the sideline to go talk about what's going to happen in the next series, he stays out there because now he's ready to get all those reps at DB. That, to me, I think from a physical standpoint, that's going to be a lot of wear and tear on your body. He's going to look up and he's going to be in year 3, and his body's going to feel like it's in year 10. That's number one. Number two, to ask somebody to go out there literally and now try to run routes against Sauce Gardner and then turn right around and now have to go and cover a Garrett Wilson and things like that. From a mental standpoint, man, that's like some kamikaze Navy SEAL type of stuff out there, just because the level of preparation that it takes to get prepared for your opponent just on one side of the ball, from that Monday through that Saturday, obviously game being on Sunday or what have you, that level of preparation is unmatched. That's why it's the NFL. It's not the best of the good. It's the best of the best. And then to ask a guy to now have to do that times 2 every week for a different opponent for on both sides of the ball, I think that's asking a lot. So when you say to the degree, I think that right there is probably the linchpin, or should I say the sticking point. If it's primarily one side of the ball and then sparingly on the other side of the ball, I think it can be done. But if you're asking primarily to do both at a high level, high clip, 120, 130 snaps a game, I just don't see that happening.
That's like verbatim what someone else says on this show. Like actually, literally word for word, somebody else on this show said the same thing, but I'm a hater.
I think Stanford said it. He said it way better than you, though. He said it more professional, it was cleaner, it was more specific.
Hey, Stanford, you know what the crazy part is? Like, I got all these NFL guys and I coach and play, and they come on the show and say exactly what you just said, and then I'm still the hater, and I'm wrong.
Because Stanford, hey, listen, no, you ain't getting away with that. Stanford, I know you're new to this show. JB will say what you said, but then he'll add some stuff in like, oh, this guy is shitty. He never got
I know what you're saying.
He adds all the other nuances that like completely waters down the whole purpose. Like, I get JB. So a lot of times when he says like crazy stuff, I can break through all the crazy stuff and understand what the foundation is. But sometimes
you can still get the message.
Yeah, exactly. But it's hard sometimes.
The packaging just kind of comes in and you get a little bit, a little dented, got a little wrinkle on the side of it. So no, I trust me, I get it. And that's the thing where, especially in this generation, and you really got to be careful with your words in this generation, because if you say anything about anybody that's not glowingly positive, then all of a sudden you're just deemed a hater, or, oh man, why you hating on him, or why you tripping on the young generation and you the old head and all of that. So trust me, I definitely get it, Coach.
Let me ask you, Stanford, you're one of the fastest men in the NFL. In the history of the NFL, fast guys usually don't translate, especially when people say, track star to football.
Yep.
You play 8 years in the league. You're one of the guys that lasted and actually translated. Why don't guys that run track that are great and who end up doing both and get drafted and play in the league, why don't they last? The John Rosses, who I actually coached and ran a 4.291 or whatever, one of the fastest, that didn't pan out. We've had great Ron Brown, who I grew up watching in the LA Ram, one of the fastest men ever. A lot of these guys, all these guys, they don't pan out in being a great football player. We always talk about, they were the fastest guy, but then they weren't really a football player. You were a football player that was really fast.
I love the way you put that.
How did that translate?
Exactly what you just said. I was a football player that was really fast, not some track runner that could play football, and I think that's it's very intricate as far as exactly how you differentiate the two. For me, I always loved football. That's what I've been playing since I was 9 years old. So I started running track just to get faster for football. And then that's how everything just kind of came about. A lot of guys simply are good at track. And then all of a sudden somebody says, hey, you ever thought about playing football? So you just go and throw them out there, and football doesn't come natural to them. Now, I will say this, and this is something that I learned from a few of my track coaches back at my days at the University of Houston, is this part right here. In football, it's not about who can run an uncontrolled 4-1 or 4-2 or whatever. It's about who can run a controlled 4-4. So when you look at the guys like Antonio Brown, or you look at another guy like a Devontae Adams, or even a Justin Jefferson, who they're not burners. They're not out there running 4-2 or whatever. But the thing is, they can run 4-4 in their routes. They can run 4-4 like in actual game like speed. Exactly. Yeah. So the one thing that I had to learn probably early on is there would be times on the football field where I had to basically learn to control my speed, so to speak. So if I'm guarding a receiver at the line of scrimmage and he takes off on a go ball, he takes off on a vertical stem, I can't go and just like this the first 10, 15 yards, because I won't be able to stop. So if he runs a comeback, or he gives me a hitch or a curl or something like that, I got to be able to stop on a dime and match his plant steps. So it's being able to understand and control your speed and being able to have different pitches, so to speak. That's what a lot of guys probably don't understand or don't realize. But every man individually has to understand his skill set, understand where you're strong, understand where you're weak. And I think that some guys probably understand that better than others.
Yeah, that's. I don't think people realize, like Jamal Lewis, when he was with the Ravens, was like a legit 4.45.
Yep.
At 230, and people don't realize he never got caught. And he wasn't a 4.1 guy, but he was 230 running 4.45. And good friend of mine, Art Perkins, was Ozzie Newsome's right-hand man, player personnel for that Ravens team, and was like, dude, this dude's a freak. He's unbelievable. People don't really realize, like, in the history of the game. And then you talk about, like, Herschel Walker, who was unbelievable.
Oh, man.
Oh, Jackson.
That's before D's time.
Yeah. The running back, though. The running back moving that fast, Stanford. And then get the wide out to move that fast in control, like Jerry Rice, Steve Largent. They were 4'6", 4'7" guys, but they ran full speed. Like, full speed running the dig route is hard to stop when you don't know where you're going as a DB, right? Like, I don't know. People don't understand that. That's a great point. Let me dive into some college stuff. You're coaching right now, not to get into too much, but let me ask you the current status and the landscape of college football.
Man,
what's your biggest takeaway? I know without saying stuff you can't say. What's the hardest thing? What's the hardest part of this game right now from when we played and coached to now coaching these young cats? What's the biggest obstacle, I guess?
Oh, man, the mental, keeping the main thing. And the NIL is what really translates, or should I say transforms a lot, because it really illuminates the haves and the have-nots. And you'll see this kid go out and he doesn't get a huge NIL deal, or he doesn't get offered money, or whatever you want to call it. And his buddy does. So now he starts to feel inferior. He wants to go out there and simply match what his homeboy got, or he wants to match what he heard so-and-so in another state that came out of high school the same year as him, but had less stars than him and things like that. He wants to get what he got. And now he feels that he's inferior. He feels that he's not doing enough because he didn't get X amount of dollars within the NIL. So now guess what? He wants to hit the transfer portal. Also, he can go ahead and match that number that he's been hearing. And the thing is, with a lot of the NIL, so many of these kids, they're not actually getting that money in cold, hard cash. That's just what the valuation of their deal. So I'll give you an example. So you can have a school, let's say in a P4 conference, and they could have a guy who is been given an exotic car. Let's say Lambo, Ferrari, Maserati. I don't know. I don't care. But the thing is, he's being able to drive that car on campus for the entirety of his time being at that university. But his NIL valuation will be considered as far as however much that car is. So it'll be he's got a $300,000 NIL deal. Yeah, he does, because that car is $300,000, but he's not exactly walking around with $300,000 cash in his pocket. And so a lot of these kids, they're hearing this. Oh my God, I want to go to that school because, so-and-so got a $300,000 NIL deal and this, that, and the other. And what it does is it just takes away from the purity of, in my opinion, college football and college basketball. As you saw, you didn't really see any Cinderella teams at all this past NCAA tournament. It takes away from the purity, and you don't have that same grit. You don't have that same desperation. Like I remember back in my days, I remember how I had a best friend back in college, and I used to use her meal plan just to go ahead and get some dinner at nighttime. And I remember when I'm at the combine, I'm out there going against guys from Michigan or UT or USC. And the thing is that I knew, man, listen, like I got a certain life that I'm living right now. I want to get as far away from that as humanly possible. So now I'm here at this combine. I got to make this shit happen. Because if I don't want to go back to the life that I've been living for the past 21 years, because I don't have no other option. I don't have some NIL deal that I can go ahead and kind of, have a soft landing on. Like I got to go ahead and basically get it out the mud. It's like what the young generation will call it now. And you get so much of this money being thrown around within the NIL, within this generation. There isn't that same desperation. There isn't that same grit, that same hopelessness that I got to make this happen because I don't got no other options. You don't have as much of that as you used to because the NIL makes a lot of these kids feel comfortable. And Coach, you are at your best when you're uncomfortable because now you got to really go and push it. But it breeds a lot of comfort level within this younger generation, and I really think that affects him going forward.
That's why I'm like, that's why I've been hard on Shedeur Sanders. He don't have nothing. His fallback is $1 million still. He's got millions of dollars. He's got $1 million daddy. He's got a fine life. He don't need to make it in the NFL. That's why he didn't go to the combine. That's why I called it out. And I'm the hater, though. But at the end of the day, that's the hunger part. The hunger part you just talked about. The hunger part, Stanford, is what these cats now lack. Not just Shedeur, but everybody in this generation that's getting paid in this NIL thing. You don't have the same investment or hunger in your body, in your longevity, in the actual game that we grew up wanting to aspire to be like an NFL legend. They don't have that no more. Now it's about, NIL college. They play 7-8 years. Look how old these cats are now. 25, 26 getting drafted compared to 21, 22 when we came out. So I don't know.
I feel everything y'all saying. I agree with a lot. I guess my only pushback is that, to me, what we're saying though is if you come from a family that has decent money, decent whatever, that you can't be great. And I disagree with that. I think you got to find another why. You got to find another motivation. I grew up food stamps. I'm with you, but there's guys who teammates I had who had a 2-parent household, grew up good, daddy good, and they loved the game. They wanted to be great, and that's what drove them. So you like the Shedeur example. I don't think just because his daddy's Deion, that automatically means that he's not motivated to go out there and be great. Like to me, some of those kids who have prominent parents or some of the hardest workers, because it's opposite. It's like, I want to prove myself and show you who I am separately from my pops, separately from my mother. It just depends on what that individual kid's mindset is, in my opinion.
Yeah, no, I mean, you're not wrong on that, because trust me, there's plenty of guys that come from affluent backgrounds to wind up being good players. Right. I think what Coach is saying, just like me, is that more often than not, you tend to see the guys that come from the well-to-do, comfortable background. They wind up not having as much hunger. They wind up not having as much grit, because you got to think about it like this, my man. Look at Cam Ward. Cam Ward's from Texas, West Columbia High School, if memory serves. And take a look at his draft day outfit versus what you saw a lot of the other green room guys versus their draft day outfits. And even just the way Cam Ward talks, he keeps it short and sweet. He doesn't really want to do a lot of interviews, doesn't really want to be in social media a whole lot, obviously, because he was a Heisman Trophy runner-up and played at U of M and all of that. Obviously, he's got some notoriety. There's no doubt about that. But he doesn't seem like he's somebody that's really, really trying to lean into it. All he wants to do is just simply be a great football player, great quarterback for now the Tennessee Titans. And even, I can tell you this. Before I started coaching college ball, I was coaching high school ball, St. Thomas High School in Houston, Texas. Mm-hmm. And it's a high school, obviously Catholic private school, where it probably costs maybe somewhere around 15 to 20 grand a year just to go there for tuition. And that was definitely an eye-opener for me, because me, obviously, like I said, I got that grit, that hunger, that toughness, all of that. So I want it. I want to win the state championship. And there were times where I remember some of the coaches be, hey, Stan, you got to temper your expectations, because these kids, their parents pay for them to go to school here. So they don't have that need. They don't have that desperation, that hunger, things like that, because their parents are already well off. So all they got to do is just simply graduate high school, go to the college that their parents are going to pay for, and then they'll simply just fall right into, being the manager at one of their parents' businesses or something like that. So when you know that you don't have a second option,
ain't no plan B.
There's a different level of desperation that you're going to have when you're out there on the basketball court or the track, the baseball field, the football field. It don't matter. Just like you see certain kids that may have a 4.0 GPA and their parents really don't come from nothing, but somehow, some way, they wind up getting that scholarship or that grant to go to Princeton or Yale or something like that, versus the kid who, his dad is like a .com billionaire, and all of a sudden he's at Princeton or Yale because they're paying for his tuition, and he might want to go ahead and do a line on a Friday night just because he wants to go ahead and kind of, wig out a little bit. He may not feel like going to class on Monday because he's tired from the past weekend. So when you know you don't have a plan B, I think it does raise that level of desperation, and all in all, it's gonna you're gonna be more focused because, like I said, you're not gonna fall back.
And I think the chat's missing my point. They're comparing Eli and Peyton and all these guys that their parents had money. I heard Howie Long and shit.
Yeah,
there's a huge difference in that and what's we're watching right now with these kids. These kids now have money, homies.
Right.
Yeah.
Not
Like,
their parents.
why are you guys not understanding? Peyton and Eli wasn't walking around with millions of dollars in their pocket. Their daddy may have had some money. Howie Long may have had some money, and he didn't have the money that they have now, by the way. When he played in the NFL, they played for what a Walmart manager makes now.
Yep.
So I want to be clear.
Eric Dixon had a little cheese.
The kids now, though, are coming in under the table. The kids now, though,
Only
have
Express.
the cheese. Yeah, these kids now have Black American Express cards and fucking Bentleys and Lambos. It's totally different, dog. It ain't about my parents. We all play with kids that had parents that had money. That wasn't. They still was hungry. The kids was hungry because they wanted the money. Because you know what our parents used to do? Our parents used to be like, "Hey, dog, when you're 18, you're going to do something. Go to college or go get a job."
That's what my old man told me.
It wasn't. You're
go to
getting
college,
my money.
go to the army.
Yeah, it wasn't. You're getting my money. Right. I never heard that from no rich parents, homie. Now these kids already got the money. Like, what's their incentive now? Like, that's the difference. I don't think these micros in the chat understand. But anyway,
real quick though, because I'm sorry, JB. Would you talk? I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
Real quick, because you mentioned that before you were coaching here at Valpo, you were coaching high school ball in Texas. Obviously, you are a Texas boy.
Yep.
So I gotta ask you this, man. When we talk about high school ball,
I think I know where this is going.
Texas, Florida, or Cali. I'm gonna put them three. JB from Cali, so he's big on California. He said California puts out the best talent. That we see a lot of the top QBs as lately come from Cali, but we know how Texas gets down, and we know how Florida gets down. From your perspective, unbiased, non-biased opinion, which of those areas put out the best high school football?
It's tough to answer that question. I probably would take it a step further and be a little bit more fixated on, I think it's by position, or I think it's by like a certain side of the ball. Like I think when it comes to quarterbacks, I think that California has a slight edge over Texas when it comes to producing quarterbacks, as far as the ones you see make it to the NFL and all of that. I think California definitely has it for quarterbacks. I think for other positions, I could give Texas a strong argument. And Florida, they're right up there too, because Florida, I think, has more Hall of Famers than Texas and California as far as like NFL all-time greats. You look at Emmitt Smith, Deion Sanders, the Michael Irvins of the world, the Chris Carters of the world, people like that. It really just kind of comes down year to year. I'm from Texas, obviously, so I'm always going to ride with my state, but I'd be very foolish to act like I don't see the talent that comes out of Florida or comes out of California. But I think that when it comes to quarterbacks, I think that California has that hands down in my opinion.
I respect that. JV, go ahead.
We also have the most Hall of Famers.
Really?
Fucking right, we do. What do you mean?
Well, Stanford's kind of he's making a little side eye.
We have 41 Hall of Famers. The closest state to us is Pennsylvania, and then Texas, and then Florida.
I was just about to say that. Listen, Pennsylvania and Georgia, very, very underrated as far as like the amount of talent that comes out of those states. Obviously, they're smaller than Texas and South Carolina too. I got several homeboys that I played with. Richard Seymour's from South Carolina. Jonathan Joseph, obviously. AJ Green, Roddy White from South Carolina. So there's several other states that are very underrated for the amount of talent, obviously per capita, that they put out into the NFL. But
and there's always like an outlier. To me, South Carolina is my favorite state to recruit per capita. In my opinion, I'm a California guy, is the most talented, rich per capita state in the union. South Carolina, you can go to Silver Bluff, South Carolina, to Columbia, to Rock Hill. I've had a ton of guys, Burns. I've had all these guys that you can go and grab. And then Pennsylvania is a quarterback state. To be honest, and a linebacker state, and then you got, and then California. Here's the issue: California has the best education in America, and so what happens is when you recruiter like I was forever, what happens is, well, it is a fact. I'm saying I'm just going by qualifiers that get scholarships. That's what we're talking about right now. Just educate. I'm just saying education.
Okay.
On an education plane, we have the most qualifying scholarship kids coming out of the biggest state with the biggest population. That's all I'm saying.
Okay.
So what happens is that gets watered down though, because what happens is the kids in Florida who don't qualify or the kids in Texas who don't qualify, what happens is those players will go to, let's say, a JUCO in Kansas or Texas or Mississippi. Or, of course, here we have 72 JUCOs, more than the rest of the country combined. What happens is a lot of those kids that don't qualify out of high school end up going and getting jobs or what have you, instead of going JUCO and making it. A lot of the Florida, lower class Florida, bad education states like Mississippi, Washington, D.C., Alabama, one of the worst in the country. They go JUCO because of the hunger of not having what California has.
Exactly,
Mountain, ocean, weather, bitches, food, all the shit that people don't really get macro with it when it comes to the recruiting part. California loses thousands of kids every year that could be Division I players or NFL players that'll never play again, versus the other states that aren't as populated that'll go play JUCO, that'll make it. Actually, California said, man, fuck this. I got other things to do. That's why California don't invest in football here like the
that
Midwest,
part.
You know
that part. And that would probably be my next rebuttal is just that, where on the West Coast there's so much diversity as far as how you want to live your life, what direction you want to go, whether it's tech, whether it's being an actor or an influencer and things like that. So like in the South, you only got one way out, that's football, because football is king. But on the West Coast, California, obviously Arizona, it doesn't seem like, even if the former Pac-12 schools out there on the West Coast, it just doesn't seem like football is at the forefront of what we're trying to do. Like we're not trying to win a national championship versus the actual blue blood Big Ten schools, the SEC schools in Texas. Like they're trying to win at all costs. And on the West Coast, and even UT started kind of getting like this to a certain degree, maybe about 5 or 6 years ago, where you could bump into a player and he would simply say something to you. I'm not a player, I'm a brand. And
exactly. That's why they recruit California kids. Kansas. I told Smitty, hey, that's why I didn't recruit California or Florida kids after a while to a place like Kansas, because I'm just telling you, I went Ohio, Michigan,
Indiana,
North Carolina,
gritty.
Because they understand the snow, the climate, the weather. It ain't nothing in Kansas. There's nothing to do. Similar to like Naptown, like nothing to do there. So it's similar. Similar. So it's very similar, like, it's landscape. So that's why California kids, man, shit. There's so many kids that I know that could have been NFL players that just didn't make it.
Cali.
Yeah, I'm just saying it is what it is. But I'm just saying the fact of the matter is, though, we have the most Hall of Famers.
You from there, JB? You from there? Real quick though, Stan, because again, I'm sorry, I want to stay on this Texas little train a little longer. You have a lot of friends who obviously played at UT.
Yeah.
And if I'm not correct, if I'm wrong, you were cool with some guys who was on that team that upset USC, right? Back in
I know several guys from that team.
Yeah, so we were having a little, I guess, debate the other day about some like the all-time like college football team. Obviously, the U got brought up, you know, in 2001.
Yep.
But that SC was like 05 or whatever year
Reggie
team
Bush,
got brought
Matt
up.
Leinart, Wendell White.
What's your take on this? Like the all-time, I guess, college football team. Like, should that Texas team be in a conversation with Vince Young and those cats, or what's your take?
Yeah, they definitely should be in the conversation for one of the best college football teams ever, just because they beat the
two-time champ.
Yeah, exactly. The USC Trojans and all that. But from what I can tell, don't nobody hold a candle to them goddamn 2019 LSU Tigers.
Woo! Oh man, I wasn't expecting that. I was not expecting that.
Just because, I mean, obviously VY, that's my boy. Like that's my dog right there. I remember he goes the big game. I think may have been 4th down or 3rd down, gets the touchdown to seal the victory against USC. Matt Leinart over there upset after the game, talking about we're still the better team and like whatever, bro. So like
Reggie Bush in them.
Yes. So you got the U back in 01, 02. Oh my God, they were unbelievably stacked. Crazy. And the only reason why I would simply not put UT like in that top 2, top 3 is just because when you look at LSU, they had a complete roster. You look at Joe Burrow, quarterback. I mean, like your number 2 receiver was Justin Jefferson. The number 2 receiver was. Like, for crying out loud, you got Clyde Edwards-Helaire in the backfield, and then over there on the defense side of the ball, you got Derek Stingley as a freshman. 6 picks, made All-American that year. Christian Fulton, who's going to be eventual second-round pick, was the other corner. And then I think you had Kayvon Chasen, you had Patrick Queen, and just so many guys on that team. So that, to me, 2019 LSU Tigers, they would be the best team in college football history. I think they broke the record for most points scored, Joe Burrow most touchdowns or something like that. And it would be a
my boy Pat Queen
battle between them and the early 2000 Miami.
White, I think on that team.
Yeah, I liked them in this era. I don't know if I could put them in that other era though, because I think that played into a team like the 08 Florida, the 01 Miami, the 05, 04, 03, 02 USC team that had nothing but NFL secondary guys with ridiculous linebackers who played more physical. I think you passed the ball like LSU did. I think it played into the hands of those other teams.
And I'll ask you this: what secondary outside of the Miami Hurricanes in 2001, my rookie year in college, when they beat, I think it was Nebraska in the national championship game, when you had Mike Rump, you had Philip Buchanan, you had Ed Reed, you had Sean Taylor was a pup back then, God rest his soul, and Antero Roll, I think, was the nickel. Antero Roll came out in my draft class, number 8 overall. Outside of that secondary, and then I remember the Florida 07, 08, Reggie Nelson. I remember all that. What secondary outside of the Miami Hurricanes one you think is stopping that LSU passing attack in 2019?
Justin Jefferson.
Because think about it. Think about it. The 2 highest paid receivers right now in NFL history, both were on the same freaking team 6 years ago.
With one of the highest paid quarterbacks on that.
Exactly. So, like, I don't know who's stopping that passing attack, because who's going to have 2 top-notch dog corners to be able to cover both of them?
The team that had Cedric Ellis and all that pass rush that would have killed Joe Burrow and never would allow him to get a pass off against a guy like Troy Polamalu who would have knocked everyone's dick in the dirt. Come on now.
No, but we know Joe get that ball out though.
Go ahead. You go get Pete Carroll was playing. Pete Carroll was playing fucking quarters off, homie. Stop. They're pressing your ass in with 6'4" corners across the board.
Wait. What's 6'4" corners at USC?
What do you mean?
You talking about like I'm trying to think back to that time when Troy Polamalu came out, and what corners, what DBs were coming out of USC at the time, not named Troy Polamalu, obviously, not name him, that were some actual dogs at USC at that time?
What's my man name? The long corner, Sharice Wright, 6'4", all day long. Unbelievable.
You think he was going to cover Jamar Chase?
He was been, but I'm saying this is my point. We're talking about pressing you though, why that D line gets to you. You guys know how football works.
Yes, I trust me, I get it.
Darnell Bing was 6'5". Taylor Mays was 6'5".
I play with Darnell Bing. Darnell Bing.
And Taylor Mays, even though NFL-wise he was just end up being whatever.
Which one of those guys do you think had the hips to cover Justin?
Nah, they didn't have the hips. They didn't have the hips, but we would have put press on them why that D-line got to you is my point. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying they're going to cover you in 7-on-7. I'm just saying in a football game in pads, but that game, that's not
so you're saying it would have looked like the Eagles versus the Chiefs.
Yeah, because in the pads and shit matter. Everything else matters up front. Who was blocking Cedric Ellis?
It does.
Who was blocking?
Stanford.
Brian Christian.
Mahomes had Justin Jefferson, Jamar Chase to throw.
No, he did.
That would have changed things.
I don't agree with it, but I do understand where he's going with this sentiment. I don't agree with it, but I do understand. Yes, and if you got a good pass rush, it doesn't really matter who the corners are.
I'm gonna be honest too, and like I tell Smitty all the time, I build my teams off lockdown corners and D-line. Because at the end of the day, if I can get you your QB, I can get you your quarterback and cover, I can be average at linebacker. I can be average at a lot of other places. DB and D-line is where you build your team from, and SC had that beyond belief. Let me ask you this, though. The Clemson 16 team and the 18 team need to be in a conversation, too. Those two teams,
Deshaun Watson and what, Taj Ward?
Taj Ward, the team that blew out Alabama, who I predicted that game. I won a lot of money that day. That team was loaded.
What, Justin Watson was and Hunter
Renfrow. How good that Clemson team was. That Clemson team was fucking loaded.
It was
everywhere.
It was, no doubt about it. Yeah, you could definitely go ahead and throw them in there. But I think what was on the defensive side, though?
You know,
as far as stars.
Yeah, I don't. On the defense side, I don't know. They had the pass rusher. What's his name? That
Beasley,
and then who was the other cat?
And then Cleveland Farrell.
Yeah,
he was another one.
Farrell, yeah. I'm trying to think of some of the other.
Somebody in the chat said Grady Jarrett was on that team.
Who?
I think
somebody
so,
in the chat. Yeah. Grady said Grady Jarrett was on that team.
Yeah. What was the Beasley kid? Vic Beasley, right?
You guys said Beasley, Grady Jarrett, yeah.
Big Beasley.
Farrell, Gaines Adams, the DN that came off the bench, who was a freak. Daquan Bowers. Let me ask you something real quick. Where college football is Valpo and the mid majors, and we spoke about basketball. Is there something that's going to happen? You're worried about for the mid majors and the little folks in this thing when we talk about resources and not being able to match the dollars and all this stuff?
You talking about basketball or football? Or
football,
both?
But I'm just saying mid majors in general, like group of 4 or 5 now, whatever they change.
It's always going to be that, just because it's now the haves and the have-nots. So I mean, we just saw some report came out just the other day that UT is what they're anticipating spending 35 to 40 million as far as NIL this year, and it just goes to show like now it's all legal. That's the only difference now. So they can just simply outbid you. The Ohio States, the USCs, the UTs, or what have you, they can just simply outbid you. And I remember, like I said, I'm from Austin, guys, and I remember years ago, this is something that I learned years ago. The money that UT generates from one home game can fund the athletic department. And they got like 30 different sports in the athletic department. The money that they generate from one home game can fund the entire athletic department for a decade.
Well, they also can fund the computer lab and the math lab and all the other buildings being built on campus is from football, which a lot of people don't want to talk about.
Hold on. Just for clarity, you said a decade, correct?
For a decade.
10 years.
Because think about it. They got $100,000. Like their seating is I think 100,000. So however much the ticket prices are, you go there, you're gonna buy a hot dog, you're gonna get a beer, or you're gonna get a Coca-Cola or something like that. You're gonna go and buy a UT shirt. And then let's go ahead and not forget about the parking. So and then we got the people that are in the suites, the season ticket holders, all of that. But yeah, the money that they generate from one home game can fund the entire athletic department for a decade. And they get like 6 or 7 home games a year.
And especially with Title IX and the elimination of certain sports that are trying, because football is king. That's just what it is. So, it is.
And then you also got to remember, man, like A&M pound for pound probably has a higher endowment than UT. To be honest with you,
more money too. They got oil money.
Exactly. A&M is exactly what it is. Agriculture and mechanics. So you got the oil and gas money. You got the farming, agriculture. So it's more of kind of like the quiet, not really outspoken, a little bit understated type of endowment. UT's got the Matthew McConaughey's. They got the famous people. But the thing is like, I remember, God rest his soul, I remember Red McCombs. Red McCombs had a lot of dealerships all throughout Central Texas. At one point in time, he owned the Minnesota Vikings and he owned the San Antonio Spurs. And I remember how he would donate $10 million a year to UT. And like not for any specific reason. Like every year, he had already had that. He had that allotted in his expenses, his finances, donating $10 million to University of Texas every year. And he's just one of the people that they have as far as donors, boosters, all of that. So when you think about it from that perspective, yeah, that's why UT is able to have the $35 to $40 million expectations as far as NIL goes, just because they'll outbid you.
My boy Kevin Sumlin was a coach there for a while, and he told me stories, man. That's just you couldn't even fathom. Like the money they have is unbelievable. Like that's why that money that they paid Jimbo off with was.
I was just about to say that. I was like, Jimbo Fisher obviously was underperforming at Texas A&M. We all know that. And the AD was worried about, oh my God, this guy has like a $70 million buyout. We need to make a change, but can I really go ahead and justify paying this guy $70 million to not work anymore? And it was a game, I forget who they were playing against. It was a game that they actually won. They actually won this game. And there's a foundation at Texas A&M. I think it's called the Texas A&M X's or something like that. I forget what it's called. But the head of that booster, donor, whatever organization, literally at halftime, they walked up to the AD with a check of like $160 million and basically said, hey, if you want him out of here, here you go.
Crazy.
Yeah. And sure enough, he was fired 2 days later.
Man.
Money talks, man. Money talks. You
So,
don't
yeah,
win.
so-
Hey, you don't win. It is what it is, man.
Yeah.
It's interesting. Man, Stanford, great stuff, man. I can't thank you enough. We got to have you on more, man. We got to have you on more.
Definitely.
What are you doing now? You just coaching at Valpo and trying to move up the ranks here and trying
Absolutely.
to. This is your new thing. This is what you want to do.
Yeah, man. I love coaching. It's something I've been doing for going on 9 years now since 2017. Love it, and definitely always looking to move up the ranks, man.
Hell yeah, no doubt. Good luck to you, man. Anything I could do, let me know, brother. I would do it in a heartbeat. Appreciate you jumping on, man. We'll have
Appreciate
to have
you guys.
All right,
Coach,
brother.
nice meeting you. D, man, good seeing you, bro.
Yes, sir. I'll talk to you, my guy.
All right, brother.
Yeah.
Appreciate you.
Stanford
Y'all
Routt, man.
man.
8-year NFL vet. Current DB coach at Valpo. Shout out, man. Great guest again all week long. Smitty, I want to go back to Pete Carroll real quick. It's interesting. Interesting against the AFC West that he'll now face.
Yeah.
Twice a year, right? 6 times total. He has a record of 2-3 versus Andy Reid overall. And he trails Andy in winning percentage overall. Andy's 65%, Pete Carroll's 60% overall in the NFL. So he trails him. He's 6. He owns Jim Harbaugh, college and pro, and he's undefeated against Harbaugh in the playoffs.
Okay.
And he actually is 3-4 versus Sean Payton all time. So Sean has a 1-up record on him, but they also have the exact same amount of wins, 170.
Oh, really? That's funny.
And they both have the same exact playoff record.
Really?
Well, Pete's 11-11 and Peyton's 9-9.
Right. Okay. Got you. That's crazy.
So that's where we are.
And they both got Super Bowl ring.
Yeah,
One ring,
that's where we are in the NFL in the AFC West rankings as far as Pete Carroll's record.
Better be big, man. It's better be some real breaking news, big deal
That
stuff.
is real breaking news. Take a deep breath here. Breaking news on the NBA front here, and this is for San Antonio Spurs fans. Unfortunate here, but Greg Popovich is transitioning to the San Antonio Spurs team president and will no longer be the head coach. Obviously, Greg has been coaching there since 1996, dealing with some health ailments, and now he moves to the team as full-time president for the San Antonio Spurs. Breaking news.
Dang, that is some big news, man. We know he was dealing with some illnesses this year and had to lead the team. So I'm not super surprised, man. And but yeah, the end of an era. He's one of the all-time greatest NBA coaches, man. 5 rings. I mean, those Spurs used to give the Lakers hell sometimes out there in the West. It would be both those teams kind of going back and forth. I mean, those guys got what from 99 or whatever till 2010, 2011 or whatever, I think the Spurs and Lakers account for like 10 rings, right? Like in that span. Like it was pretty much like Lakers or Spurs, you know what I'm saying? So shout out to Greg Popovich, man. Hell of a coach, and I'm interested to see what direction they go moving forward.
I'm curious to see how, if he's gonna obviously have his thumb on the hire. I'm curious on how he goes and how much politics will play a role into this, which is unfortunate. I'm curious because we know where he's turned to politically. I'm curious if he'll go after a guy who's conservative like Mike Malone.
I don't think he cares about all that. He's trying to find a coach. It's basketball.
Well, it does matter now, though. That's the funny part. That's the sad part. I don't
think Greg Popovich old school cat.
You're not going to hire a guy if you're that guy.
He's going to hire whoever's the best coach who's going to help them win games.
I hear you. It sounds right, but I'm telling you, there's a deeper dive, dog.
I knew you was going to go this angle. I swear to God.
I'm being honest. Listen, on the court, I don't judge your political thing versus what you've done.
I'm glad you don't.
So I never have. Like I said, I'm not going to stop listening to R. Kelly. I'm not going to stop watching Robert De Niro movies because he's still the greatest actor, in my opinion.
My wife in the background said, okay, because she loves some R. Kelly. So when you said that, she agreed with you.
Yeah, like what you do personally and what we all fuck up and whatever your deal is, that's separate. What you do.
Right.
I'm not going to stop watching Robert De Niro, even though he's got a weirdo son and a weirdo fucking deal and all that old shit.
Right.
But what happens? This is gonna matter, homie. When this cat is super far left now, and you got the guys like Steve Kerr, who's also a
all-time coach, and he comes from the Popovich tree.
That's my point. And when he goes out there and is super far left too, they're not hiring a guy who doesn't have the same beliefs, homie. I'm just telling you, that's where we are now in the world. Like you're not hiring a guy that's gonna be different politically because now you feel like it's a girlfriend-boyfriend scenario. Like, look how bad it is now. Like, there's literally divorces. There's literally relationship conversations out there. Like, in the beginning of a relationship, what are you? Like, can I be with somebody that's different politically? Nowadays, with it's so prevalent to your conversation that I don't know if you can have different view on political and live in the house together. Like, I don't know if that exists anymore.
I wouldn't know. I ain't in the dating world. I don't know.
But you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know.
I just don't know.
I'm just saying it's weird. I mean, I think it's gonna matter. I think it's gonna matter. My boy who's a hoop head just hit me. My boy Dave. He said that he heard after Malone got fired, it was his job if it opened up.
Makes sense. Makes sense.
Yeah, they got the great. You know, they got a foundation there with Wembanyama, and they got that. So I mean, I would think it's a coach's dream to go there with that guy,
for sure.
You know,
we'll see what happens. We know off seasons are always crazy in the NBA. So who knows who they bring over to San Antonio to couple with Wemby, and you know what I'm saying? Like, who knows?
And you know, the hire is going to be telling. And it's gonna answer the question I just brought up. It's gonna answer it for us.
For sure.
What I mean is you're gonna know real quick what side of the fence he's on, and it ain't about basketball and coaching, and it is political based on who he hires. Just watch. If we're gonna look out there and say Mike Malone's available and he's a conservative thinking dude, and he don't get the job, and this guy hires this fucking female that's on his sideline, what are we gonna say then? Come on, homie. Keep it real.
Well, I'm not gonna live in a world of like.
Don't you have a female on there? Don't you have a female on there?
That stuff.
Don't you have a female on there?
No, I don't think so. I think she coaches the WNBA now. If we're talking about the same lady, but I don't know. But at the end of the day, I think he'll coach. They'll hire the best available that fits their team. In my opinion, that's what I think. You know, shout out to Mike Bundy. I knew Mike Bundy was gonna come
another one,
but no, this is Mike. Well, it's the second C note.
Get this woke cat off the screen. I don't like that motherfucker no more. What? Ooh. Popovich. What were you saying?
The legend. See, look at you. You're the one that makes things divisive. Like,
get him off there.
You bring politics up in everything. Like, you can't separate the two. Like, you had to say that joke. You had to get that joke off. You know what I'm saying? You had to.
Not a joke.
Popovich been an all-time great his whole career. We can't just keep it basketball. Steve Kerr is one of the all-time greats. Can't keep it basketball. You are literally the problem that you talk about. Woo! Shit. Oh man, where'd that come from? You are literally the problem that you preach about. You are divisive. You add to it. Keep it basketball, homie. We ain't got to talk politics every single day. I don't talk politics on this show. I don't. So we're not doing no more
You
politics.
got to. We just said about the hire.
Anyway,
You
shout
got to
out
talk
to
about
Mike Bunny, though, man. Mike Bunny, technically speaking, not to throw a shot, because we appreciate everything. But like just from a technicality standpoint, Mike Bunny is the only person who sent an actual C note. Our other homie, who we strongly appreciate, he sent 99.99. So I'm not trying to be funny. I'm just saying, technically speaking, a C note is 100. Shout out to both of y'all. I appreciate y'all.
At the end of the day, though, either one of us will get the 100 because of taxes. But technically, if we really want to get 100, you have to send us like 109.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
So just throwing that out there for everybody.
As long as I get like 45 of each one, like 45 of the 100 and then like 40 of the 99.99, I'm cool.
Fair. Been another loaded week as we wrap up. Another loaded week. Yesterday was ridiculous. 4 in a row.
Couldn't even breathe yesterday.
Um,
Today was cool, man. We had my guy. We had
right.
the Cleveland legend 92.3. Then we had, my homie Stanford Routt, man. I didn't know he was at Valpo. That's my hood. You know what I'm saying? So any young coaches out there, you guys you trying to get back on or get new opportunities, let me know. I got a lot of homies coaching in a lot of different spaces. JB, you need the opportunity, let me know. FA, all y'all coaching, y'all need some help, let me know. And yeah. Bailey know the whole math of how the money broke down on YouTube.
No, I did that.
Betty, but Betty want to know. He know all the numbers.
Yeah.
God, I need 7 clips to go out. Please stay on track because I have this scheduled as a video. This will equal $120. Like, he got the whole shit. Like, Betty, little young Betty trying to get paid. Your money ain't gonna change, Betty, no matter how much the show grows. So you got a flat rate.
We gonna make $500,000 a month.
Your shit is what it is. You signed the agreement. This is what you agreed upon. It had nothing to do with the growth. So that's just, I'm letting you know that right now.
He's not on a percentage deal.
Right. It's just, you got a flat rate, homie. It ain't got nothing to do with the growth. Like, let them know that right now.
No matter what the show grows to.
Motherfucker, we get a motherfucking $100 million deal. You're making what you're making right now. That's BPS. Paris said noted. All capital letters, noted.
Why? I don't get it.
So they both gonna start slacking out on all the shit on the shorts, on the YouTube clips. They're like, all right, just y'all want to play.
Man, I'll be on Unpaved after this.
Oh yeah, tune in to Unpaved, y'all, man. Him and Shaun Salisbury, man. 10 a.m. Pacific time, talking all things, everything, all things sports. JB, man, is gonna be high energy, pumped up, and hey, man, I can't wait. I saw one of y'all clips yesterday. It was on my timeline on Instagram, man. You was talking about something. I didn't watch it, but I saw it. So, hey, man. Oh, here we go. Let's go ahead and play it.
No, you don't have it in a clip.
I thought it was a clip.
We'll be on there at 10 a.m. Pacific, 1 Eastern. Shaun Salisbury and I, last show of the week.
I got
we'll be diving into it. Yeah, shout out to everybody in the chat, though, man. Show's growing. This off season, it's critical. Keep growing. Let's get to 75,000 in the next 2 months. And then by the time season hits, we'll hit 90,000. Then we'll get to 100,000 by the time season ends. That's the goal. So make sure we get to 100,000 by football season. And then this shit's going to take off. We're going to be the biggest show on planet Earth. And then we're going to do like yacht parties and like a big time yacht, like a super yacht. And then all that type of shit. So shout out to
subscribers do we get like per day on average? Like growth?
Subscribers, I don't know. Members, I don't know. Subscribers,
what's about YouTube subscribers? I'm real curious.
We've had like almost 1,500 this month, I think.
Okay, this month,
maybe or maybe more than that. I don't know. Bailey knows.
So we probably get between 15 and 2,000 per month depending on the month.
Like a good month, like a good month. Yeah.
Okay. All right, that's cool.
I think D2 Football Spotlight's the cat that wrote the story on me, right here. This guy, no? Yeah. Shout out. He's watching the show.
It was a shitty story. I should have wrote one about me, but whatever.
But you didn't play D2 though, homie.
Yeah, I didn't play D2. I was D1.
You D1. You made it 1%.
I really am a 1%er though.
You are.
Like I'll take that. So
Paris said 23,000
growth since I've started. So what you trying to say, Paris?
So you've been monitoring that, Paris.
Tell me the exact date you started, Paris, right now before we go. The exact date you started and the exact time.
D2 only, Smitty, he said.
My fault.
All
right, well, let's keep going.
We had to beat Ball State, but yeah.
No, we would beat the Chaps. But all right, man. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and go. It's 9:02. I don't get paid for overtime. I don't have a flat rate. So y'all, man, enjoy yourself, enjoy y'all weekend. Me and JB gonna be in a Discord all weekend talking crazy mad shit. So make sure y'all tune in into that. Boxing all weekend, man. I'm going on a little bar crawl with some of my work friends tomorrow. And then I'm gonna celebrate my anniversary with my wife. We've been married. It'll be married for 5 years on Cinco de Mayo. And yeah, man, we love y'all. Appreciate y'all. And I'm gonna let JB call on the show.
Hey, shout out to a kid that I just found out about, man. My good friend coaches him in JUCO out here, and I helped him. He asked me to go out and help him, coach him up. Smitty, you got to listen to this story real quick. Bring your ass back in here. Shout out, man. CJ is his name. CJ Wiggins. I coached him up during the season a few years ago. He went on and played college football. He was just invited to camp for the Indianapolis Colts.
Hey, come on, man. Hey, shout out to him.
Oh, you know what? I might bring him on the show actually now. His daddy hit me up and thanked me last night, and then his head coach just thanked me again right now, and I did not know that was him, and put it 2 and 2 together, and I was like, oh, shit. So CJ Wiggins, man, a kid that was wet behind the ears, and I was like, damn. So I got to stay with him for a few weeks, went to a couple games with them after I coached them all during the weeks, during their season. Few years ago, and great kid, man. CJ Wiggins, man, is gonna get a shot with the Colts. So,
man, shout out to CJ Wiggins. Shout out to my coach, always, giving.
I believe he's a Seattle kid. I want to say he's a northern. I think he's a Seattle kid or something like that. I think their parents are from there. So,
my coach is always giving guys chances, man. And hey, I hope he balls out. He earns that position, and hey, he's a guy who we can count on and depend on this year to get back to the promised land. So. Shout out to CJ Wiggins, man.
It might be the starter.
Baby, go ahead and block TL when you get a chance, and that's about it.
Who?
TL. He talking about some nasty, like weird, like shit. Some shit like if I saw him in public, I'd slap shot him.
Who is TL?
He just said some like weird, like I don't want to say the word. Just some weird shit.
Is he a member?
Nah, he's not a member. And he's talking about some weird, like just weird stuff. Like
I don't see him. Where is he?
So like. He mad like a nasty boy type shit. Like he's banned now. It don't matter. Yeah,
nasty boy.
He freaky as hell. Hey, he nasty boy. He freaky frog. Zachary Walker. He freaky frog. Like he's on some nasty. Talking about my cheeks and all types of shit. Yeah, like some weird shit. If I saw him, I had to like, you know what I mean? I have to do like he tripping.
That's weird. Anyway, all right, man. I'll be on Unpaved later on, and it's a shitty weekend here, man. So no yacht this weekend.
Yes, you gotta stay on. Yes.
And then, but next week is supposed to be 80 on the water.
I'm throwing a pool party next week.
I'm gonna be there Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday next week.
You tripping?
I might do a show from there.
By yourself.
You might do it. I got the drone. I got that new big time drone. We need to fuck with that, homie.
All right, homie, man. Y'all have a good one.
Get you swimming, homie. Swimming to get you swimming.
12:05 Eastern. I'm gonna go give my wife a big hug and a kiss because I missed her. She been at work all night and she couldn't hear cooking something. I'm about to take a bite of that. I'm gonna take this trash out. I'm gonna go to the weight room. I'm gonna come back. I'm gonna take a shower. Then I'm gonna get my laptops, go to work. I'm gonna drive my wife's car. She's gonna drop me off because my car is fucked up. I got a new car. And then I'm gonna go drop off the rent on the way to work, go to work the show, speak with Joy, probably Rick Bucher's in today. Paul Pierce, Keyshawn Johnson. Then I'm gonna leave there, come back home, and then I'll post a few more things from my other freelance job, and then should be good for go from there.
Tell Joy hit me.
All right, then y'all.
Tell Joy hit me up. All right, we'll see you on Monday, man. Appreciate you guys. Peace.